Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today it's the 4th of January 2022. It's 3 minutes past 8 in the evening in the United Kingdom. We're in X-Plane 11 and we're back in the excellent iniBuilds Airbus A300 version 2.01. A little update since we last streamed it a few days ago. We're back exactly where we left it in, what state are we in? Washington, in Spokane. We're going to be flying for 1 hour 30 minutes southeast to, where we're going? Eagle County. To Colorado. It's an airport which I have been wanting to fly into, and Exometry, the scenery provider, has very kindly sent me a copy of their scenery in Eagle County, and I think it'll be the first of a time we've flown an LDA approach, basically an approach which is like a localizer, but it's offset from the runway, albeit a small amount, but lots to think about. High terrain, we've got to get out of here first, where it's currently in freezing conditions. We're going to have to try and work out how to take off with the engine wing anti-ice on this aircraft. I think it's pretty simple, but look at the performance accordingly. Anyway, flight time will be about 1 hour 30 minutes. For those of you who were in the last Airbus A300 stream, we did two giveaways, one of the Beluga, one for the A300. The Beluga claimant got his Beluga. The A300 claimant didn't realise it was for the A300. He already owns it. So iniBuilds have very kindly let me re-roll it for today, so you've got a chance of winning the iniBuilds A300 for your X-Plane virtual hangar. So we'll be doing that as soon as we've landed in Eagle County. Anyway, let's zoom on into the aircraft. Let's see who we've got here. Robert S, Brandon M, hello all. He says, Todd Gibley, Andrew Yock, he says, hey baby, hello, Saffel, Lee Russell, GHL, Mark King, good evening Captain, hope you're doing well. Joe Drage, Tim Waters is here as well, Aqua Vital, 2 tons of love, Micro Pish, 2 tons, Sicily, John Franco, Gregory, Fire TV, Ben Matthews, Hans, Christian, and Christian Osland, just to name a few of the people here. Thank you very much to Barone, who's just joined as a member, glad, or rejoined I think, you've already, is that a silver or gold epaulet? I think you've rejoined there, maybe it's 3 months membership there, so welcome back, glad you enjoyed the content again. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat as well. This scenery again very kindly provided by Vertical Sim. We landed here the other day in Spokane for the iniBuilds group flight which they organised, and yeah, thank you very much to Bounce. We have a slightly different Alpaca Airways livery. Bounce is a member, he's made this sort of slightly different livery from most of the aircraft there. If you want to see his entire library, use the ! Livery command and you'll be able to download any of his Alpaca Airways. Slightly different look, I quite like it actually. I wasn't too sure to start with, but it's very befitting of the aircraft of this age, you know, early 1970s design and stuff, so looking pretty cool. Hello, Alex van der Pas, greetings from the Netherlands, good day to you. Little Tigger, this livery is fire, yeah, it looks very nice actually, it's grown on me there. Have you noticed the registration as well? Let's see what we can do today. We're in G Butter. Got to keep all you simmers happy. But yeah, very nice. We were in the
50,
cargo variant
40,
last stream, the passenger
30,
variant today,
20,
which has been, as I said,
10.
updated by the ini team in the last day or two. Thank you very much, Flight Service Specialist, for your 10 Canadian dollars. Very kind of you, sir. Hope you're doing well. No comment there, but thank you very much indeed for your generosity. Really appreciate it. Anyway, let's zoom on in here into the air bridge and smoothly transition to the cockpit through the door. There we are. We'll, of course, do a full cabin tour of the passenger variant. I think they've actually made some changes to the interior.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Luca Giordani, welcome as a member, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord as well, and I hope you enjoy using the custom modes in chat. Thank you very much for the support. Alpaca Cargo at the gate. I did notice that. Well, wherever you can find a spare space, I suppose. Right, let's get the show on the road. So, just turn this music down slightly. Completely cold and dark. We'll just imagine we've turned up to the aircraft, and Jim's doing the walk around. So, batteries, where are you? 1, 2, 3 on. We'll get the external power connected. There we are. The aircraft's now booting up. We then check the hydraulic panel switches, check the electric pump switches are off. They are all off. The gear lever verified down with 3 green lights. We have that. The slats and flap handle agree with each other, so the flaps and slats are up. And we've got the up indicator is there. We'll get some lighting on here. It's a bit dull and snowy and cold here in Spokane today. And reverse levers are down. Fuel levers are off. Weather radar down there is off. And we can now carry on with the rest of the checks. So, APU, we won't use just yet, even though it's quite cold there. We'll turn it on just prior to pushback. IRS mode selectors, we can come up here, they can go to nav. 1, 2, 3. Inertial system display units. You can check the alignment process if you wish. Oxygen low pressure supply turn on. There we go. Test the annunciators. There we are. It's quite windy in Eagle County today. Might be needing wind shear escape maneuvers. We'll have to see later. Turn on the VHF radios as well. So that's a push.
Minimums,
Pull,
minimums.
and then we'll
Approaching
just turn up
minimums.
volume slightly there. Robert S, welcome back as a member as well. Oh no, you're a new member, sorry. I'm glad you joined the content members only Discord custom mode in chat. Thank you very much for the dedicated support. I need to turn down the alerts. They're incredibly loud. They're deafening for me. God knows what it's like for you guys listening in. Right, so we've done the initial setup there, flight deck preparation. So on the FMS status page, confirm active database currency. So the latest AIRAC installed. It's valid until January the 27th. CF6 engines, and then we're going to go to init A. And thankfully, I don't actually need to type in the route. I can go here to my A cars, and we go to this one, request company route from my SimBrief flight plan, and we could request the wind data pending, and also insert the wind data as well. And if you look down here, voila, we've got our routing in from Spokane to Eagle County. Our alternate we can put in, which is Denver, KDen. There we go. Return. We select the option to align IRS once the alignment's complete. And all the rest of the information's there. Costed X30, which I think is quite quick for the Airbus A300, but there's nothing wrong with going fast, and the cruise level will be flight level 350. Let me just get some lighting in here, guys. It's very dark, so turn up that, turn up that.
Welcome.
Turn up old Jim's controls as well. Be nice whilst he's doing the walk around. I think down here we've got the lighting for the overhead panel and the pedestal as well. There we are, it's a little bit better, a little bit like a Christmas tree. Robert S, mega. He's definitely enjoying the custom emojis in chat there, very good. The time has come, thank you very much indeed. Alex Robinson, do you use company routes in real life? We don't, we have to manually insert the route for each sector, but we do have route 2. That means we, obviously on the first flight today, have to put the first route in, but in the cruise we can put in the return sector route in the FMS and activate route 2 as soon as we're on the ground, which saves about 3 or 4 minutes, which is pretty helpful. Excellent. Javelin, Dorman idiot, what have you done? What ICAO did you join as? You show up as an A306, not a A310. That's because an A306 is the ICAO code for this aircraft, A300-600. I think that's why you're saying I'm an idiot. There we are. Perfect. What else have we got left to do then? Quite a lot. No smoking, switch to auto. We'll put the seatbelt signs on. Servo control panel, verify we've got the low pressure lights illuminated, which we do. Flight ground control on. We should have fault lights on because we have no hydraulics on at this stage. External lighting. Put the nav lights on at this stage here, and that's all we need. ATS, and we won't be able to put the pitch and yaw damper on just yet because the IRS hasn't aligned. We'll put the galley power on. Engine fire tests next. Actually, pop out the little cam display so you can see whilst I'm doing it all the warnings coming up. It's such a well-modelled aircraft. So there's just the squib check. So we'll do the engines and APU, and let's do the fire test. So there's loop A checked, the fire handle lights illuminated, and then it finishes with the loop B check. You get all the associated ECAM messages. There's the loop B fault test. So cool. There's APU fire test.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Engine number 2. Multiple tests. I'm confusing it. There's the loop B test as well. There we are, that's the engine fault and fire test complete. John Wiltshire, 15 months as a member. Aha, the almost Boeing inverted mouse cargo bus. Nice to see you out of the hang again. Yes, Jonathan, well, I do enjoy flying a second. One of my favourite aircraft at Explain 11. Yes, I remember when we had a complete catastrophic SASL crash and we had to land with the mouse. That hasn't happened again, thankfully. Hello, Taylor 3142T5. I've liked it to sim. Happy to be back with you and crew for another trip. Thank you very much for your comment indeed. Quick message actually. If you ever message me on social media or email me, don't ever think I'm ignoring you. It's just the sheer volume of messages I get. It's completely impossible to reply. I mean, typically on Facebook it's 4 or 5 messages a day. and they're quite lengthy. Some people put sort of mini essays there asking questions about the 737. I just don't have the time, guys, to answer each and individual one of you, and I have been the case for a couple of years now. Same with emails. I get a lot of detailed emails and asking questions and all sorts there. Again, it's not that I'm ignoring you, I just haven't got the capacity on my own to answer every single one of you. I just wanted to make that known to anyone that's watching who's perhaps got messages pending or waiting for me to reply. It's likely I'll be unable to. So,
50, 40, 30,
Flight Service Specialist,
20,
thanks again
10.
for the £5.81. That's very kind of you, sir.
Currently doing Air Canada 832 Montreal to Brussels, 2 hours and 30 minutes to go.
Ooh.
Thanks for the stream and help pass the time in great company. Smile.
Oh, thank you very much, Flight Service Specialist. Well, I hope the rest of your flight goes smoothly. By the time I've got set up and landed, you'll be just coming into approach in Brussels. I don't know what the weather's like this evening there, but have a safe approach of landing. Thank you very much for popping in whilst you're in the cruise. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Excellent. So, electric indication panel. It does say select emergency and ESS. Sort of like the AC/DC metering panel on the NG. It's more an engineer's function, I guess, just to check everything. But you can see, look, we've got 400 Hertz, 115 volts standard AC power. Fuel panel, all the fuel pumps on. Oh no, that's the probe window heat, but that comes on anyway next, so we'll turn on everything here too. Excellent. Cabin pressurization system we would test, it's all fine, we'll leave it on manual, we'll arm the emergency exit lights, and econ flow can come on. I think that's all it. You then check all the configuration of things there, but I think on the overhead panel we're pretty much all done now. Is the IRS alignment complete? It is, so I can put the pitch trim and yaw damper switches on. Over to the MCP or FCP, I think it's referred to. Heading select, so we'll select the runway QDM for departure. It'll be runway 21 for today. Got a light breeze coming in that direction. So 211 is the runway heading. We'll set that now. There we are, 211. The expected stop altitude is 6,000 feet on the SID. That's pretty much everything we need to set. Decision height to minus 5. RMI, ensure no flags are displayed, all looking good. PFD, no warnings or messages, just the manual thrust initiation, that's fine. Altimeter, set the local pressure setting. Oh, I forgot to do this last stream. Let's use, actually, is there any ATC here at the moment? No, there's no ATC whatsoever. So let's grab the METAR using ACARS. So ACARS, weather request, Kilo, Golf, Echo, Golf. There we are. Request the METAR and send. There's the latest weather report. Not looking nice, so we'll print that. There we go. Pop that on our pedestal. Well, not pedestal. What do you call it? Just below the glare shield. There we are. So latest weather conditions. It's all in American, so they do measurements here in a slightly different way. I can decode that on my phone. So winds from the south, 1 statute mile, runway 21. I think that's visibility in feet, so 6,000 feet. What's that in meters? What's my translation? It's about 1,800 meters. View at 700, broken at 1,500, broken at 6,000. Minus 1, 2997. Remarks here. Not sure that means. Surface visibility 7. SNE, what is that? Genuinely don't see this in European METARs. I don't fly outside of Europe, so showers of vicinity, many numbers, slightly different format to European METARs, but you know, it was saying snow earlier. I think that might be short for snow, so we'll do some kind of freezing conditions and go from there. So just set the altimeter, so that is 2997. 2997, and it should sync up in the sim with all 3 altimeters. That should be indicating the elevation. We've got 2,400 feet on the altimeter, and this says the altitude is 2385. That's looking good. So altimeters are set, clock set and check. We're live time at the moment, so 2018 Zulu, so local time. Here at the moment it's 12:18, so 8 hours behind where I am here in the UK. And clock set, metric altimeter is fine, standby instruments are all set. We're we check the slack flat indicator position, charge the brake accumulator if required, so you can see it's not the green band. So if you push the little parking brake accumulator pressure button, have a look, you'll see now it's recharged it. I've just noticed, I love the sort of scratch paintwork and details on the gauges. Really, really nice touch here. Andrea, has your company got the weather request via ACARS, or do you have to do it the old school way? We do it the old school way, Andrea. We don't have ACARS, but you can just tune up the ATIS, ask ATC, get the volmets. I only listen to volmets really if weather's approaching sort of limits, so minimum RVR required for the approach we're expecting, or the winds are quite strong, so that's the only time I really grab a volmet. Otherwise just the ATIS prior to top of descent. That's all good. Landing gear warning check, so there's a little button here. There we are. Landing gear lever knocked down. There we are. It's a nice reminder for you. Check the takeoff config warning. So there's two tests. We've got the first one here, and there's also a takeoff config test which checks the configuration. So you can see that flaps and slaps not the takeoff position there. Warning system and emergency cancel switch has been satisfied. ATC transponder. Make sure we have that on standby for now. Weather radar is off. We'll put the tilt to +5, and it is off at the moment. And it's now time to do the rest of the flight management computer. So let's get the aircraft loaded up. Let's go to takeoff performance negative. We want the load sheet first. Where's my little arrow? Come on, there we are. So, ground ops, load sheet. I mean, this is just a personal thing. I don't like the fact SimBrief got rid of the passenger and cargo loads. All you do is put the zero fuel weight in, which is fine. I mean, some people like that, but I like... I don't know if anyone here agrees with chat, you know, let me know, but I like it when you can actually select how many passengers you want, so 180, 230, and the cargo, and then let the EFB tell you the zero fuel weight, and then you can punch that zero fuel weight into SimBrief. This is just... I don't know, it just... like, you don't know how many passengers or how much cargo you have. You're just putting a generic zero fuel weight in. So the dry operating weight's 90 tons. The zero fuel weight I've said I'd just use today randomly was at 107.3, and that simulates about 205 passengers times 84, which is the standard weight of a passenger we use in my operator. So that zero fuel weight, yeah, is representative of 205 passengers and no cargo. Just for me, it just takes out that sort of, you know, I like to feel like we've got 205 virtual passengers and things like that. Anyway, we've got the zero fuel weight in, and if you have a look at my operational flight plan, that's not a complaint, it's just a personal opinion, by the way. Here we are, there's our flight plan. We need 12 tons, based on last stream, where it was a huge amount of people taking part. Actually, how many of you got here today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should think most of you are coming with me. I don't think I'll need to use half an hour extra round of fuel, but I always put in 30 minutes, as you well know. This aircraft's burning the best part of 5 tons an hour, so if we put 2.5 tons on top of 12, that's 14.5 tons, so that's flight plan fuel plus 30 minutes, so 14.5, and then load. There we are, so that's loading the zero fuel weight and fuel on board. And we can now, before we do the performance data, just fill in init page 2. So init next page. So fuel on board 14.5. There we are, 14.5. Zero fuel weight is 107.3. And CG is 26.8. 26.8. There we are. So there you can see the sort of calculated an extra 39 minutes it reckons based on the flight plan and the wind, so that's fine, we'll take that. And let's send that information to the takeoff performance calculator. We can put in our airport code, which is KGEG, runway 21, and we'll get the ATIS. Excellent, so we've got the wind information in, so a nice sort of 7-knot headwind, -1, QNH1015, so it is snow and rain around, so we'll put wet, I won't put slush or snow. Engine and wing anti-ice on for departure. I'm actually going to use a slightly higher flap setting, just because of the density altitude here in the performance. We're going to try 15 and 15 today. someone was quite critical of my video the other day and commented about the iniBuilds and how I shouldn't be using 0.15. I just use 0.15 because I think that was just the Monarch default flap setting. But I'm going to go 15 today, something slightly different. We'll leave the air conditioning on and flex. Let's see what the computer says. So then, all the data's in there, so we can use 15.15. Second segment runway, so it's climb performance is limiting, so there's the V speeds. We'll send that data to the FMS and go to the take-up performance page. V2's 151. So 151. And I forgot to do this the other day, but preset, and then we'll set to 30 knots as the initial climb speed, and we'll use profile mode on the climb out. So that is set, preset V2 151 knots, trim is 1.1 units up, so let's set that now, 1.1 units up, and I think that's it. Flex temperature 48 degrees, so flex 48 degrees, there we are, so that is all set, looking hunky-dory. Right, so before start checklist, cockpit preparation complete, signs on, fuel quantities checked, we've got 14.5 tonnes, navigation's all set, landing elevation, that's what I did set, very high elevation in Eagle County, 6,500 feet. I don't know if we have any A300 experts here, genuine curiosity, is this just a simple reminder of the landing elevation, or does this actually have any input on the air conditioning and pressurization system? Because when we put land out in the NG, it uses that information to, for the pressurization schedule. I'm not sure if this is used or if it's just a simple reference, but I should think it's used by subsystem in some way. But it is set 6,500 feet. And we'll get the APU started and we'll brief the taxi and departure. So, master switch on and start. What is the temperature in the cabin actually? Probably flipping cold. Is it condition? Oh, it's not too bad, look, 14 degrees. It's probably the residual heat from the previous sector, but anyway, we'll leave it on APU so we can monitor the APU start. There we are. There's the EGT increasing and the in-one rotation of the APU. Looking good. Rory, good evening. This is a good one of my celebrating my first year of membership. I've both been to Spokane and flown in an A300. Double win then, Rory. Thank you very much for a year. I don't know where that time's gone, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. Hello, Matteo Chew. I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Ben Matthews, what's wrong with 15.0? Well, there's nothing wrong with it, to be fair. The only thing with 15.0 is it leaves you quite high V speeds, and actually what could be quite limiting when you're at a high elevation airfield like this, you've got to sometimes think about something called maximum tyre limit speeds. Certainly would be an issue taking off from Eagle County, that's 6,000 feet, so using 0 and 15, your actual speed over the ground is probably in excess of 200, 210 miles an hour, so I'm talking about the 737 here, the max tyre speed for the 737 is 225 miles an hour. If you go over that, you can damage the tyres, so there we are. Cool, APU's on, we'll get the APU bleed on as well. Many noises. Disconnect the external power. There's a voice crack like a teenager. No wonder none of you believe it, my pilot. And just double check there's no ATC. And let's have a look at our taxi and SID. So we are on stand. I cannot. Oh, loud! We're on Alpha 12, ladies and gentlemen. That is loud. So Alpha 12. Can't even see it here. There we are. Push back from that stand, probably not all the way to the Alpha taxiway, probably on the terminal ramp here, taxi out via Tango 4 and Tango 5 onto Alpha, and then runway 21, off we go. Oh, it's all not in meters, it's confusing. We definitely have the minimum required RVR for takeoff, that is for sure. It's a Spokane 6 departure. Typical US SID, just maintain runway heading, then turn on routes, which is what I like.
Minimums. Approaching minimum.
For runway 21 is climb on heading 210, and or ATC assign heading for vectors to assigned route. Okay, first programmed waypoint, guys, is Pullman, and then from Pullman to Nez Perce, I'm not sure, and then it's an airway from there. So we're just going to climb runway heading to 1,000 feet, AGL, so 3,500. I'm going to use heading select, and then once we're there, I'm just going to route direct to Pullman. So all I need to do is actually go to the flight plan page, KGEG, just confirm confirm it's runway 21 for departure, Spokane 6, insert, and then we just need to tidy this up, so delete the discontinuity, not allowed apparently. Let me just get rid of the vector then, get rid of the height, get rid of the flight plan discontinuity. There you are. So I'm going to use heading select, and then we'll just redirect to Papa Uniform Whiskey. Otherwise ATC would typically vector you towards your waypoint. So that's set, and it says we know the initial climb, initial top altitude, there we are, 6,000 feet, so it's only 3,000 feet above ground level, so we'll probably briefly level off there and then continue climb without ATC. There we are, Hawaii 345, welcome back as a member or renewing your membership. Hope you're doing well, thank you very much for the continued support. Robert S, do I use B2 volume control? I do. Oh, massive nerd, very realistic, just de-icing the 736 on stand, very cool. For the purposes of today, because I don't know the de-icing procedure of this aircraft, we'll imagine we have been de-iced and we have sufficient holdover time with the external conditions. Right, let's pre-plan our pushback. So, do something like this. And then we'll go here, just keep the exit clear.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call us to the menu when you're ready to go.
We're ready.
Ground to cockpit, the tow's driving up now.
Excellent. Jack says, how long from pushback to departure? It'll be shorter than Dublin, that's for sure. God blimey, that was crazy, wasn't it, the other stream? It's about 45 minutes to get airborne, but I do appreciate all of you joining in. Thank you so much. Right, so let's turn on volume.
Minimums, 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 approaching minimums.
Thank you, whoever that was. Steve J, 25 months as a member. Wow, 2 and a bit years. Happy New Year, Captain. Best of luck with today's flight. I'm sure the most non-Airbusy Airbus will treat you well. It will do, Steve J. Thank you very much for your 2 years and 1 month as a member. Really appreciate it, buddy. This is my favourite Airbus by far.
All doors and hatches are closed. We're connecting now.
The most Boeing Airbus of all time. Right, transponder to Althoff. What's the temperature in the cabin? Make sure all the doors are closed, which they are. Give Jim the legs page. And what else did I want to do? Ah yes, just check the temperature.
We're just waiting until the departing aircraft about 5 miles from the runway, then we'll take off.
Yeah, oh, that's warmed up quickly, 22 degrees. That's a good point. In IMC here, it's going to be quite difficult to work out when we can depart here. Let's have a look. Doesn't seem to be anyone on the approach there, but we can monitor the map. I didn't realise the terminal was a tug garage, straight out of the observer terminal there.
Tows connected and bypass pins inserted. Release the brakes.
So just before we do that, imagine we got our pushback clearance, we'll turn on the beacon.
Delta 6512 on runway 21.
There goes the average. Oh, look like we're moving backwards already there.
In front of you. Smaller, lightweight arrows may be placed in the seat back pocket.
That's a high-speed average. I'd be very concerned if it moved that
If you
quickly.
need any assistance, please let us know. If you are seated at a bulkhead seat, there is a seat with a wall directly
Release
in
and
front
park
of you.
brake.
All carry-on items must be stowed in wheelbarrow.
Okay, push is commencing. Go ahead and start the engines.
Spokane ground, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, so pushing back now. Do I have to do pushback on Unicom? I don't know. Johan, what was your least favourite ATPL subject? Meteorology and air law. Meteorology is interesting, it's just a lot to learn. It's being very heavy. Right, on our way. And just start then for the General Electrics. We'll move the ignition to start A. That turns the packs off for us. And we'll start engine number 2. It says start engine number 2 first to ensure all brakes are available, apparently. Love this engine start sounds like this. So cool. Make sure you turn your headphones up in a second, guys. Go outside as soon as you got fuel in. N2, N1 is oil pressure slowly increasing. 20% N2. Fuel goes in. So good.
Spokane traffic, Alpaca 6 off Romeo 6 last not 6. Spokane traffic, Alpaca 15 right now, behind the 11.
There you go. Alright, good start on engine number 2. And starting
Spokane traffic, Delta
engine
6501,
number
climbing to
1.
5,700, this will be last call.
Whoa, we were. Jordan. N2.
Minimums. Approaching
He's
minimums.
30 months remember, it's crazy. Air law, is that like bird law? What? What are you on about? It's hard and annoying to learn, that's for sure. Most important law for a commercial pilot is their ops manual. Airline's ops manual, that's our law. Gotta make sure we know that.
Operations complete. Set the brakes.
Parking brakes set by shortcut.
Stand by. We're disconnecting the tow now.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Cheers, Beto 360 for the $5. Sorry, bud.
Hey CPT, good evening, so my ears are bleeding now, lol, smiley face.
Cheers, Berto. Sorry I deafened you. We all like to go outside, but for those headphone users, it does get very loud all of a sudden when I pop outside. Thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it. You're doing well in the US. Two good starts. Just gonna wait for the pushback tug. We can start doing the after start flow. So ignition off. AP bleed off.
Nose disconnected and bypass pins removed. Signals on the left. Have a good one.
AP masters off, so anti-ice. We're going to turn engine and wing anti-ice on. So we'll turn it there because it explains icing model. There is a little bit of snow around. I should think snow's on the ground here in reality as well. So that will just prevent any issues. I think we'll just have to take wing anti-ice off after takeoff. And the NG wing anti-ice comes off automatically as soon as you get airborne. There's the tug. Speed brakes armed. Flaps we're using 15-15 tonight. There we are. Rudder trim, reset, check it's 0. So reset, it's 0. And trim verify set for takeoff, which it is. Just wait for the flaps to extend. Ooh, nice.
Spokane traffic, UPS 2430 heavy, taxiing to runway 21 via Alpha.
Hello, N2, my favourite dial, N2. Brilliant. Flaps are extended, so slats and flaps are 15 today, and now we can taxi out. So prior to taxi, nose light to taxi. There we are.
Spokane traffic, Alpaca 125, takeoff runway 1 left to direct Spokane traffic.
So look out here, just make sure we're all clear, no one's behind us, so we'll taxi to the whole point. And Spokane traffic, Alpaca 3X3 Yankee taxi, holding point 21. Oh, is Tower Natus? Tower, oh, Tower's just come online. Uh-oh. I'll go to Tower. Well, carry on taxiing now. There we are. Tower, hello, Alpaca 3X3 Yankee, currently taxiing holding point runway 21.
Alpaca 3X3 Yankee, runway 21, taxi out.
And taxi runway 21 via Alpha, Alpaca 3X3 Yankee, thanks ATC.
Spokane Tower, very good evening.
All the sounds on this aircraft, so good.
UPS 2430 heavy, Spokane Tower, good evening. Squawk 6601.
Oh yeah, he's probably going to give me a squawk as well.
6601, UPS 2430 heavy. Targeting.com.
Might give us our clearance at the whole point.
.com 1985, Spokane Tower, good evening. Squawk 6603. 6603.com 985. Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, squawk 6602.
And we'll squawk 6602, Alpaca 3X3 Yankee.
UPS 2430, cleared to Eagle County as filed.
Yeah.
UPS 2430 heavy is cleared to Eagle County Airport.
I said country for this stream. We still got to do the taxi out checks here. So
Tower, good evening, Alpaca 6, Oscar Romeo.
checked. Flight controls will check.
Currently on Tango 7.
Alpaca 6 Oscar Romeo, squawk 6604.
Squawk 6604, Alpaca 6, Oscar Romeo.
So check
Tower Alpaca 7, Echo November, request IFR
elevator,
clearance
so
to
full back.
Eagle County, type 757,
Full
Amsterdam
forwards.
Charlie 32 with information Bravo.
left and right. Here comes the rudders. So
Alpaca
it'll turn
7
quickly, but
Echo
there we are.
November,
Right,
cleared
and
to
left.
Eagle County
Brake
Airport,
to
Spokane
max.
6 departure, radar vector is Doxy, and as filed.
And transponder now back.
Stand by for initial climb and squawk 6605.
Where's transponder?
Cleared
Oh, it's
to
not
Eagle
here.
County on the Spokane 6 departure, squawk
weather radar will turn on now
605, and Doxy will be the vectors, and I'll stand by for the initial climb, Alpaca 7 Echo November.
Takeoff config test. There we are. Takeoff test normal. Everything's configured.
UPS 2430
Ready for
heavy,
lineup.
ready for departure.
Yes, 2430 heavy traffic is a southwest on a 7-mile final. Runway 21, clear to takeoff.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff, UPS 2430 heavy.
Oh, what a view!
Delta 103, Spokane Tower, cleared to Eagle County Airport, Spokane 6 departure, radar vector is Doxy, and as filed, stand by for initial climb and squawk 6606.
So we still need to copy our departure clearance.
Spokane Tower, Southwest 3650, 5 miles out, runway 21.
So we will
Delta
get cleared
3650,
for takeoff.
traffic, a heavy PS departing runway 21. Runway 21 clear to land, caution
There he is.
turbulence.
Clear to land 21, Southwest 3650.
Southwest on final.
Tower Alpaca 7 Echo November, ready for push and start, please.
Alpaca 7
Taxiways look nice, yeah. This is vertical sim
push
scenery, and it's
through
really
and
reasonably
initial
priced
climb
as well. It's about £5-6. So if you're from Spokane,
Push approved
highly
and
recommend it.
6000 for the initial climb, thanks, Alpaca 7 Echo November.
And Tower Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankees, holding short runway 21, ready for departure, ready to copy departure clearance.
And the Alpaca 3 X3 Yankee cleared to Eagle County as filed, or Spokane 6 departure, radar vector is Doxy, then as filed. Maintain 6000, departure is offline.
Cleared to Spokane on the, that's right, cleared to Eagle County on the Spokane 6 departure, and vectors to Doxy, stopping altitude 6,000 feet, departures offline, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee.
Alpaca 3 X3 Yankee, read that correct. UPS 2430, departure is
Don,
offline, monitor
It's
unit.
that's live ATC. Well, yeah, that's ATC
Aircraft UPS
being provided
2430
by
heavy, bye-bye.
Someone simulating ATC.
Virgin 8461 Eastern, request IFR clear to Eagle County.
Virgin 8461, Spokane Tower, cleared to Eagle County Airport.
So now we've got ATC, we'll just maintain runway heading and wait for the vectors from ATC.
Then as filed.
Just said radar vectors to Doxy, where is that?
6000, departure is offline, squawk 6607.
Ah, I see. Doxy is actually on my flight plan.
Your vectors to Doxy. Climb initially 6000
Doxy,
feet.
excellent, it's after the vehicle.
Virgin 8461.
Just leave it like that for now.
Virgin 8461, read back, correct? Delta 103.
Such a cool aircraft. So 70s. Love it. I think this guy might be using a goldfish bowl as a helmet.
Push through.
Thump. That was a confirm one.
Mike.com 1985, cleared to Spokane as filed, maintain 6000, departures offline.
Spokane as filed,
See all the Europeans are calling it Spokane. You see why I was calling it Spokane the other day? I now know it's Spokane.
Alpaca 6 Oscar Romeo, cleared to Spokane as, or cleared to Eagle County as filed, maintain 6000, departures offline.
Cleared to Eagle County as filed, maintain 6000, departures offline. Alpaca 6 Oscar
Weather
Romeo.
radar on.
Alpaca 6 Oscar Romeo, read that correct. Alpha 3650, welcome to Spokane, taxi to the ramp via Alpha, stand of your choice.
Thanks, ramp via Alpha 3650.
Good to go.
Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
321 clear takeoff, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee. There we are, Togas in chat, ladies and gentlemen, we're on our way.
Delta 2627 with you holding Tango 7.
MCP sets, transponder,
Delta
TRA, strobe lights are on, landing lights on, engine with anti-ice on as well.
Spokane Tower.
Checks complete.
Runway 21, taxi. Yankee.
Runway 21 taxi Yankee, Delta 2627.
Make sure we're pointing in the right direction. I'll start the timer before I forget. There we are, run.
Runway 21, line up and wait.
It's 40%. And we'll now set takeoff first. Live full pressure on the control column. There we are, takeoff thrust is set, indications. 80 knots checked, release forward pressure. V1 rotates.
461, runway 21.
Now we're airborne. Monterey, gears up. Trim. Beautiful.
Alpaca 7 Echo November, ready for taxi.
Alpaca 7 Echo November, runway 21.
Beautiful.
Runway 21 by Golf, Alpaca 7 Echo.
So the aircraft should accelerate. There we are, so
Spokane delivery, good
it's
day.
going to lower the nose to get to 250 knots, so we can now select flaps up, leave the slats out for now.
United 531
Trim nose down as we accelerate.
is requesting clearance to Eagle County.
In United 531, Spokane Tower, cleared to Eagle County Airport. Spokane 6
Trim
departure.
nose down.
Radar vector Spokane.
So, is this a US thing? Or do I turn when I'm ready, or will he give me a turn when he's ready? Because in Europe, I'd very much wait for him to tell me to turn.
Cleared
And
to
vertical
Eagle
speeds,
County via the
1,000 feet per minute.
Spokane 6 departure.
Taking
Spokane
anti-ice off.
6610 for United 531.
United 531, read that correct. .com 1985, runway
So 1 to go. Thanks XAL for the confirmation.
Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, monitor Unicom today.
Unicom and thanks HC, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, bye. Well, based on that instruction,
Thank
we'll
Lauren.
direct to Doxy as he advised us.
Tower, Alpaca 7 Echo November, can you just confirm you want
Over to Unicom and we'll set our cruise level, which is 350. That's set profile mode, nav mode, and we'll now complete the after takeoff checklist. So, spoilers we can disarm, landing gear off, anti-ice as required, we'll just leave engine anti-ice on for now, ignition, set to contrary lights if it's severe turbulence, which are not, AP verify off, it's off, and that's it. pressurisation, diffs increasing, as is the rate of climb. Cabin altitude is good. Enough to take off. Checklist complete. Look at it go, 4,000 feet per minute. That's like an MTNG. To be fair, we're not super heavy. We could put on another 50 tons of fuel and another 10 tons of cargo and passengers. God, I love this add-on. The sounds, it's just, everything seems to be so well modelled. All the systems, it's mega. We've got Ortho for the entire sector as well. We've got a little bit of Orbex True Earth Washington here, but we'll be going over to Ortho 4XP big maps at zoom level 16 and 17 around Eagle County. And my US friends, you'll be able to tell me what states I'm flying over. Did we go over the Rockies today? Is it over the Rockies? I don't know. But this performance is pretty spot on. NG, climb quick when this if it's empty as well. Anyway, passing 10,000, flight level 350, do a pre-cruise checks. So fuel, all the pumps are on. Lights, all the forward-facing lights can come off. Engine anti-ice, yeah, they can come off for now. AP Verify off. Pressurisation, diff pressure, about 3 psi now. And coming down, she's about 3,500 feet. Release the passengers. And no smoking sign off, line them up. And, there we are, pre-cruise checks complete. Do you want to do an ultra loud flyby? Watch your ears, guys, because I know you guys love a good old flyby as we accelerate to 320 knots. That was amazing. Right, I'll turn that down now, so I remember when I next jump out, I would deafen all of you there. Lovely departure indeed. Our ETA, speed limit exceeded. Well, Alpine Airways, we'd like to go fast. 685 miles to go, and I think if we go to the flight plan page, we get our times here. There we are, 22:26. Usually stream a bit later when I'm flying in the US, gives a chance to my US watchers, certainly on the East Coast, a chance to watch live, which is good. Usually a bit earlier than this. Microfish my ears! Sorry, Ben made the dog jump, that's no good. Simon Helliman, how do you maintain an appropriate power gradient as a captain? That's a very good question, Simon. So, very important thing, and what's changed over the years is something called the cockpit gradient. If you look in aviation 4 or 5 years ago, 40 or 50 years ago, CRM wasn't a thing. CRM is such an important aspect of training crew now that it's actually a huge element of the type rating and recurrent training. And one of the issues 40 to 50 years ago, and with certain cultures, was this cockpit gradient, or power gradient. What we mean by cockpit gradient is the captain is sat up here and he's looking down at the first officer, and the first officer sat down here and he's looking up to the captain. Whatever the captain said 40 or 50 years ago, yes, captain, do you want to fly? Captain would go, do you want to fly into the side of the mountain? And the first officer would go, yes, captain. So the big change in this was the Tenerife Air disaster. The Tenerife Air disaster, the KLM captain there was... I've investigated this. I actually studied this incident as part of when I became an instructor of my operator, and I did a presentation on it. And the captain, the KLM, showed all of the sort of parts of human which should be very authoritative, large cockpit gradient. What he said is the only way it goes. And if you look at how those two jumbos crashed, there was questions asked by the engineer and the first officer whether the runway was clear, and he just went, no, we're going, we're fine, and off they go. And Todd Gibley, absolutely, the Korean Air out of Stansted as well, as a classic cockpit gradient example, the captain on the Korean Air. And that's a culture thing as well. The Korean people very much respect their seniors as well, and the first officer on that one didn't say a single thing until they crashed right into the ground. So yeah, cockpit gradient, the captain wants to have a slightly higher authority than the first officer, but never would I ever doubt any input by a colleague. If he said something, absolutely take it on board, 100%. You know, if he said go around to me, no questions asked. I go around, let's go around now, ask questions later. And if it was a mistake, I'll be like, don't worry about it, you know. Always be conservative. So, oh yeah, Barry Standard, thanks, in the US of A. So yeah, if you look at cockpit gradient, guys, CRM, it's not an issue. In modern aviation, certainly my operator, cockpit gradient is not an issue. I've certainly have no issue with it at all. It's a very interesting case. Todd, yeah, Korea was the exact same. SLT Daniel, which airline do I fly for? Thank you, Phone News. Matt Johnson, we're human, we all make mistakes. Absolutely. That's the key thing to remember. We are all human. Well, we all make mistakes, and I'm very fortunate to be an operator, as most operators are today. They have a no-blame policy. So long as you didn't act negligently, so obviously if you did something stupid, you know, if they're not going to defend you, but if you follow the rules, and despite following all the rules and the ops manual, your SOPs, and incident still happened, you're bulletproof. No one can touch you. So that's the key thing: is to act always conservatively, act safe, and know your manuals, and you'll be absolutely fine. Robert, how are your frames? Let's have a look here. 50 FPS. I've turned up my settings a notch actually. Explain, because I was sort of getting 60-70. The sim sort of works best at 50, so I have everything on max now, number of world objects, the textures are one off the highest, but this is, as long as I can keep it above 40, I'm happy with that, but it should be silky smooth for you guys. I'd be getting 20 on my old PC for now, that's for sure, especially with ortho loading in now. I think, looking out the window here, that's ortho now, I think, not Orbex True Earth. Let's warm up the engine anti-ice. Oh, yeah, I left the engine anti-ice on. Breadmaster, what weather injection do you use? I use Active Sky Explain, or XP, ASXP, and the clouds you see are Enhanced Skyscape clouds, which answers Sebo 101's questions as well. IFR Captain, the new Challenger 650 looks great. Now, good news, ladies and gentlemen, Sasso from Hotstart got in contact with me, and he's very kindly provided me with a copy of the Challenger 650, soon to be released, I believe, on the 7th of December. The plan is to stream it on the 6th, guys, a day before, and Sasso, I don't know much about Hotstart, but this aircraft looks pretty special. I think, like it with his TBM, is it TBM, I think the other aircraft has got? There's a lot of detail, a lot of things that go way beyond the normal simulation of an aircraft. So yeah, he's very kindly, I can announce it now, allow me to stream an early version copy, and I'll be doing that on the 6th, 2 days. I think it's released on the 7th of Gino, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Plan is to stream that on the 6th. I'm going to spend, I've got some other things to do tomorrow, but most of tomorrow is actually study that aircraft, because I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. There will be a good chance I won't know what I'm doing, because it's a whole new aircraft for me. I need to learn, but at least, like clouds, or at least I want to have a rough idea of getting the aircraft from A to B. Picking destination wise, I might try Sion. We've been into Sion before in the Alps. I think it's a really cool destination to take it, but it is quite a challenging approach. But I don't know, if you've got any ideas for the Challenger 650, let me know. I've got loads of different places we can take it, but it'll be just the one sector. I'll have a good study of it tomorrow, and then if all goes well, if I've learned it and I'm confident enough, I'm happy with where I am, we'll stream it on the 6th in the evening. Hello Ollie, how do you enter the giveaway? If you still can, that is. The giveaway, when I do giveaways, guys, all the instructions regarding the giveaway are on a pinned comment at the top or in the video description. The giveaway today will be after landing in Eagle County. And all instructions about how to enter the giveaway will be made. It's very simple. I'll get you up to type in something in chat. I'll tell you what the word is. Ooh, Miles Peacock, how about a Greek island for a private jet charter for difficult visual RNAV approach? Yeah, I think that would be cool. We haven't been to a Greek island for a while. Ooh, maybe Samos again. I have done Samos. I need to get track IR for that though. That was quite challenging in the 7.3. That would be quite cool. We have done Samos once, but that was one of the most challenging approaches in Europe. Callum, would you try the hot start TVM? Yeah, I might do. But this aircraft's been in development for quite some time, I believe. Hello, Snowy the Gamer. Evening, Captain. Where's the best place to download mods for X-Plane 11? Or there's lots of different websites, all sorts of different websites. Snowy the Gamer, if you'd like to know what plugins I use for X-Plane, I'll put that in chat now. These are the ones I use. There's so many. I'm a firm believer of using as few as possible because each one could potentially cause stabilisation issues or make the sim crash, so I just use what I need to make the sim look good for me, for you, and make it a little bit realistic, you know, as realistic as possible. So we're down in Switzerland. There's St. Moritz, very steep mountains around the airport. Not heard of that one. There's Nairobi, Kenya. That would be cool. Brandon M, Captain. I think I asked this before, but did you fly any biz jets or anything from the 73, or did you go straight from Cessna 73? Straight from Seneca, Brandon M. IR on the Seneca, and then 73. And that's all I've ever flown. I've nearly, guys, got 5,000 hours. Nearly 5,000 hours now. Total time, about 4,647 on the 73. In fact, I'll tell you exactly how many hours I've got. Let me get my electronic pilot logbook up. Total time on aircraft, 4,958 hours and 42 minutes. 1,156 hours as an instructor in Level D Sims. So if you add those up, it's something like 6,000, but that doesn't count as flight time. GHL Tulare to Aspen, visual runway 15. Actually, Aspen's not too far away from where we are today, are we? Aspen's Colorado, isn't it? I've done Aspen before in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's some of that lovely ortho I downloaded. So I probably don't need engine anti-ice because of the outside air temperature, which is minus 54. Once it's sort of below minus 40, it's too cold for ice to adhere to the aircraft. Hello, Jack says Daniels. How many legs do pilots fly usually? Very much depends on the airline and the operation. My operator, we do typically 2 or 4 sectors a day. There we are. We've reached the cruise level. We'll do a fuel check at Doxy. Here's the maps. I'll get rid of a chance for now. Beautiful Rockies, look. What state's this, guys? What US state are we over? We've left Washington, haven't we? We're about to fly over this road here. Woodrat Mountain. Coolwater Mountain. Peter Green, how many hours in the sim? Explain on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, if I was to look at Steam right now, I think I've got 2,000 hours in X-Plane 11, and that was exclusive to about 6 months after I started the channel. Let's have a look here. Steam's been very slow in the background here. X-Plane 11 running. I have 2,200 hours in Steam. In X-Plane 11 in Steam. That's crazy. Microsoft Flight Simulator is 40 or 50, and I mean that's before that. Probably when I was growing up, best part of 2,000-3,000 hours, maybe more as well. I probably have more desktop sim time than real flight time. Henry, it's another cloud surfing sim. I think this is a enhanced skyscape thing. As soon as I've gotten this, it seems to draw clouds really high all the time. I'm always in the clouds now at cruise levels. But I think over in Eagle County it's clear today. It's quite a nice afternoon. Yeah, it's completely clear. It's pretty much Cav OK in Eagle County. Cool, enjoy the approach. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator probably around 150 hours, but you spend 100 hours on downloading / updating stuff. What's the current state of Microsoft Flight Simulator actually? I've not used it. Since I got my new PC, I've only streamed it once, about 6-7 streams ago. Because I've been wanting to fly the what is it? The Aerosoft CRJ. I think again. I've only flown that probably 2 or 3 times. It's the only payaway aircraft I have. Oh, and of course the PMDG DC6. X-Ways, I still remember when you first came to X-Plane from P3D. Well, I've never used P3D. I went from FSX to X-Plane. X-Ways. When I started this channel, I'd never used X-Plane. And then someone invited me to try out the Zebo mod. And you could say the rest is history. So impressed by that. I switched sims. And X-Plane is still, in my opinion, ahead of Microsoft Flight Simulator when it comes to flying big commercial jet airliners, which is what we like to fly on this channel. For VFR, Microsoft Flight Simulator is miles ahead. It's great, but we want to fly 737s, we want to fly A300s, Concords, Belugas, 75s. Realistically, this is the sim. PMDG 737 looks very promising, of course. Yes. Sumpy, which version of Windows are you using? Still using Windows 10. I'm not updating to 11 yet. Miles Peacock, what's the load factor been like on your recent flights? Not great, Miles. Half full most of the time. I haven't had a full flight since the summer. Even this summer, full flights was quite rare. Yeah, pre-COVID, most flights are full all year round. But I had probably this summer's been quite good. A lot more flying than last year. But I'd say 5-10% of the flights were full. Most of them half full. Some were less than 50. I flew to Spain on Sunday. We were quite empty there. 50 there and about 140 on the way back. It's a great show. Still haven't flown a Max either. Ian, I love the 737NG series that just came out until I had to use 40% to taxi it down the runway. Yes, they need to look into that. I loved flying that last stream.
Welcome.
Great addition to X-Plane 11 for you to fly all the different variants. And elements of the threshold level up aircraft are sort of, as I mentioned last stream, in that aircraft. All issues the Zebo mod suffered with in the past. The main issue with that aircraft at the moment is the delayed flight control inputs, which gives the handling characteristics of an aircraft 4 or 5 times the size, and the drag model. Well, something's causing the N1 to be considerably higher in most phases of flight. But otherwise, the actual platform's quite nice, and if you're just wanting to fly 737 different variants from A to B, it's more than satisfactory. Well, is that Cav okay now, is it? That's beautiful. Oh, I'm so sorry, I thought I turned that down. I just killed everyone wearing headphones. Still really loud. My goodness. Beautiful. That is Ortho 4XP Bing. Zoom level 16. You can get away with 15 usually in this altitude, but I've got the space now that looks like a better PC, so I just went 16. 17 you don't need unless you're close to the airport. Birds are cool. How much does this add-on affect performance compared to the Zebo? It's about the same. I think it's quite an FPS friendly aircraft for the complexity. Using Honeycomb or TCA, got the Airbus joystick. I have excellent use for you. Thursday the plan is to fly the Challenger 650. Friday I hope to jump in the Zebo mod with my yoke cam. I need to get that all set up on Friday, and we'll do 2 short sectors and do as much handling as possible, manually flown fly mounts approaches with the yoke cam. Once I've got it positioned in a way where you can't see my ugly mug. Still really loud. Yeah, one of the highest. Well, lowest. I can't promise I'll have yoke cam for every stream. It's just the setting it up, because I've got a ring light now. It's because without it you can't see much at all. It's too dark. It'll be basically the same sort of setup it was for the TCA yoke review, with the camera there. For that I used a Sony camera, like a proper Sony camera, but the webcam should fit to the ring lights in the same position as well. And I won't have it on the whole time. It'll only be for like when I am hand flying, because the otherwise the I'll get blinded from this ring light, so bright. A perfect chance for an autopilot in upstream. Don't tempt me, Brandon. I didn't think about that. you can fly whole sectors with the autopilot inoperative. Just got to fly outside of RVSM airspace. RVSM airspace requires you to have autopilot with an out hold function, so you can't go above 29,000 feet, but you can do it. I will try and show Jack Ben. I'll get him to jump up my lap. Cheers, Todd. Yeah, maybe I could do a shameless. I see everyone talking about mugs. Maybe I could do a shameless merch plug. I should put all my merchandise from between the yoke and the camera. My mug, my hoodie, all folded up. My baby onesie, my leggings. Maybe I can put the leggings on. Rosny, are you going to fly the Q400 from Fly JSim again? Absolutely, we will do that. But, we'll fly the aircraft again soon for sure. I haven't tried it yet. Well, I haven't actually installed it on my new PC, and I'm getting much better performance on this PC now. Go full YouTube influencer style. Maybe I could. We were talking about this. I did a stream on my gaming channel yesterday playing Halo, which I really enjoyed. We were talking about it again. I don't know if anyone's seen it. Has anyone seen the aircraft video of the guy who crashed his plane on purpose? Inverted commas. Basically, he crashed his light aircraft, 1940s. I don't know what it was. Looks like a Piper Cub. He put the video on YouTube and said, "I crashed my plane," and allegedly he says that the engine failed, and he jumped out. Conveniently seemed to have cameras all over. He filmed it all on his selfie stick as he jumped out the aircraft and filmed his aircraft, even though there was totally lots of options to land. It's absolute, yeah, crazy. Yeah, he jumped out with a parachute, but apparently the parachute was, I don't know much about it, but it was a parachute you wouldn't typically wear in a light aircraft. I mean, I used to do gliding years ago, and we used to have a parachute we used to just have on. It was just a simple little chuck it out there. He had apparently the full works and a wristwatch tells you your altitude. Oh, he took off. knew full well what he was going to do. Jason are going to be licking their chops on that one. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it was a skydiving suit. Yeah, I see. But I've been watching some of the reaction videos. There was a really good reaction video by, I think it's like a psychologist or something. And it was absolutely brilliant. I'll try and find a link for that in a bit. Well, I'll find you both the video, unless it's not been taken down off YouTube yet. I don't know. Let me find it first. Oh, it's still on YouTube. He's turned off the comment section, conveniently, but he has left the link for the wallet he's sponsoring. Maybe if he gets a discount. Right, so if you haven't seen it yet, here's the video we're talking about. And I'll try and find the response video I watched. So funny. He's a former Olympian. He was an Olympic snowboarder. But if you look at his other videos, I was really quite I was like, wow, looking into it as well. Looking at some of his videos he posted, it's just typical narcissist, you know. Where is his other one? It was a great reaction video, so good. Here it is from Dr. Todd Grand, and some of the stuff he said was so funny. Have a look at this as well. Okay, Golf, I love my rich wallet. Have a look at this video as well, guys. It's a reaction video from Dr. Todd Grant, and his comments are so funny. He said there really calmly, like, the plane was clearly pilotless, but one could argue that the plane was pilotless the entire time. It's like an epic burn. It's in the comment section here. It's brilliant. I don't know who that guy is, but Eddie Mambo, fuel check, thank you. Yeah, let's try not do what he did. Lima Kilo Tango, we missed the first one as well. There we are. So over the Salmon VOR, we should have been 26 minutes airborne. We were now 29 minutes, so 3 minutes late. Should have. Oh my goodness, shameless merge, but James and Sal. I know who that is. they're friends of mine. James, I can't read the comment. What did you say? Let me just push that up on my other monitor. Oh, I can't see it. It's not clear enough. I'll try and read it. Something or other. Happy? What was that, James? Is that for Sal's birthday? Well, cheers, buddy. I'll talk to you after the stream. Thanks, man. Amazing. Fuel checks. 8 tons. We took an extra 2.5 tons. So we should have 10.5, 10.8. Excellent save. We should have burned 4 tons. We've burned 3.6. We're saving about 400 kilos. Superb. Hello, T-Bomb 83, hope you're doing well. Miles Peacock does not know we're across the pond in schedule for this year, looking forward to it, but don't want to miss out on booking a slot. I'm not sure, probably a while off yet. Only did it, was it November? I was working, fortunately. First one I missed, I've done the last 3. Marius Rayson, do you think it was better or safer with a flight engineer on the flight deck? My main thought is that it gave pilots more room to focus on flying the plane rather than monitoring lots of other systems. Also, having a person that is an expert in all the aircraft systems that you can interact with in emergency situations would seem like a nice relief for the pilots. Great question, but that was more to do with the complexity of the aircraft, Marius Reason. If you take the 737, well, probably not the best example there, aircraft really, the 727 is a better example. That had an engineer's panel because the systems, which are obviously on all other aircraft, required a lot more manual control, and they were not as reliable as they were, so they needed an extra member, an engineer, to monitor all the systems and configure everything accordingly, and same on the 747-200. Now aircraft, as they developed into newer variants, so the 747-400, obviously the 727's no more, but the 737NG, those systems became a lot more automated and also considerably more reliable. So even in the most diabolical situation I can imagine, yeah, obviously it would probably be nice to have an extra person to have the eyes and ears to watch things out. But if you look at historic accidents, Marius recent, most notably, is it the DC-6 that crashed because they had a bulb go out? They had a bulb go out with a light which indicated there was the landing gear wasn't down, and 3 competent crew members ended up running out of fuel because they were so transfixed with this one issue that both the captain, the first officer and the engineer neglected to keep an eye on the fuel burn, and then they burnt out the engines. Was it a DC-6? Let me find that one as well. Might not have been a DC-6, guys. Might have been an MD, maybe. No, it definitely wasn't a DC-6. What am I on about? DC-9? Yeah, DC-9, sorry. Eastern Airline Flight 401. That was it, not DC-6, DC-9. Burnt out landing gear light, and despite the fact they had all the crew members in there, they got so preoccupied with that, the aircraft crashed. Sorry, DC-6. Not... there it is. Oh, was that a TriStar, was it? Sorry, not poor Douglas. It was a Lockheed TriStar. Sorry, gosh. Yep. So just going to show you having extra pilots doesn't necessarily mean
40,
a safer
30,
aircraft.
20, 10.
Holy Lord. J-Dog, 100 pounds. What in the world?
A very happy new year, Captain. Hopefully I'll manage to join in on a group flight this year. Although even if I don't, thank you for the content. It has been great to learn from you.
I don't know what to say, man. J-Dog, thank you very much for the £100 donation. That is absolutely ridiculous. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it, and you're more than welcome to always join any group flight you like. And always speechless when people do that. Right, I'll get myself a nice bottle of rum, put my feet up. Thank you very much, JDog0302, for your £100 donation. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much indeed. That's
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
I'm going to try my best. Is that Polish there? I'm not sure. What check? Petershvich Moradin, thank you very much for your membership. Glad you enjoying the content, buddy. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom motion chat as well. Thank you very much for the swatting. Very kind of you. Thank you. Crazy. Brandon, it wasn't fuel. They weren't paying attention to their altitude, I believe. Are you sure, Brandon? I think they got so preoccupied with the burnt out landing. Oh no, maybe you're right. Yeah, that was a CFIT one. There's another one though where I think they ran out of fuel. Yeah, that just goes to show you if you get distracted, you know, things can happen there when you can't see what's going on. Crazy. Thank you very much, Jet, to Pilot Henry for the £20 donation. I have no idea why that's not pinged up yet, but I've just seen that in chat. That's very generous of you, thank you. Hello, I have a suggestion. Can you possibly fly from Leeds, Bradford to Lanzarote once in the 737? Great content, man. Love the content so much. Keep it up. Thank you very much. It's very generous for you, for your £20 Jet to Pilot Henry. I'll think about that. We've done plenty of UK Canary streams before. It's a little bit of a longer flight than I usually do. My guess would be is that you flew that on holiday once in a 737, possibly Jet 2, and you'd like to replicate that or see it replicated. But I really appreciate your generosity, and I'll think about doing that later sometime. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. No idea why that's not popped up. What check, my newest member, could you please explain the insufficient fuel, the using reserve fuel message in the 737? Reserve, I assume, is just the last 30 minutes of fuel we're eating into, but insufficient for altitude or to alternate or to destination. Thank you very much for your membership. So insufficient fuel would come up when, what is the exact amount? You don't want that coming up in flight, basically. I'll look up the exact amount there. The using reserve fuel figure that you put on the performance initialization page is the alternate and your final reserve fuel. What you want to have happen, what check, is when you're, say, holding at your destination, you want it to come up using reserve fuel, and what that message says is, look, if you divert now, you're going to probably be landing with your getting quite close to your final reserve fuel. That's the figure we use. You don't just put fin res fuel in there. It's your final reserve fuel, which is your fuel to divert to your alternate plus your 30 minutes of final reserve. So it's the sum of the two there. Indeed, that's what it is. I'll look up now. Insufficient fuel. It's not much to get that message at all. Basically, if you've got that message up, you've probably already declared a mayday. It's less than a ton, that's for sure. I have my FCOM here.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Jet, you Pilot Henry. No need, sir. You
deserve the donation.
Oh, well, thank you very much again, Jet, to Pilot Henry. That's very kind of you. I don't know, you might be an older guy, a younger guy, but if you're a young guy, you make sure you save those pounds of flight training. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it nonetheless. And thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Oh, goodness me. My goodness. Sorry, Wojtek. Don't worry about it. I've heard worse. Sorry, Wojtek. My pronunciation is always so poor all the time. Insufficient fuel illuminates when fuel at destination is predicted to be less than 900 kilograms. That's when you get insufficient fuel. So yeah, if you're landing with less than 900 kilos, it is most likely you've already declared a fuel emergency because that's less than 30 minutes. But insufficient fuel would show up when it predicts you're landing with less than 900. Hello, Flight Simulator. Hope you're doing well. That's where I was getting muddled up with Super Cow. So we're talking about the TriStar, which crashed with regards to getting preoccupied by the landing gear light, hit the side of a mountain. It was a DC-8. They were trying to troubleshoot a problem and they ran out of fuel. And both those aircraft had 3 crew members in. So yeah, that's why I was getting my DCs muddled up and things like that. We are so much luckier as pilots today with modern aircraft. And you know, their 737 is outdated, of course, but we have a navigational display which is giving us great situation awareness. We get excellent training. Nothing to say that training in the past was poor, but unfortunately accidents like this we learn from. Another very well-known accident was a 757, an American Airlines 757, and they just put the wrong information in the flight management computer. They put the wrong waypoint in, executed it, and the aircraft just went to the side of a mountain whilst they're on the approach there. Jamie, we've got some new CSLs coming soon. My goodness me, Jamie, you've been busy, buddy. Jeebus. Let me know and I'll definitely download that so everyone can see it during the stream. Wojtek, you got that declared a Mayday fuel at Geneva after getting that message after a go around. Yes, probably a good idea. Guys, super accommodating professional. I'm guessing on VATSIM and not real life, Wojtek. Amazing. Right. Well, I spent all that lovely... all of last night downloading the best part of 80-90 gigabytes worth of Ortho. Can't see a thing. The clouds do look superb. Should we do a little cabin tour? I've actually not been around the new cabin. How are we doing time-wise? We're all okay. 369 miles to destination. Checking all the systems. Fuel's all good. We did a fuel check about 5-10 minutes ago. And we're so happily nicely at 350. It's really your fault for flying in the Pacific Northwest expecting to see the ground. Sorry, Jason. Let's have a look around here then. So I think this is an upgraded cabin. Ooh, I've got to see this. If we go for purple. Oh, purple's not modelled apparently. We can have blue. Ooh, no, we can have dim purple. Very nice. Actually, let's dim blue. Because that is the colour of Alpaca Airways, isn't it? So here we are, the galley, and here is premium economy, I guess. I mean, A300 is the best part of 50 years old, but you wouldn't think it in this cabin. Yeah, look, we've got this information now on the 300. Estimated arrival 2220. Been airborne for 40 minutes, minus 55. Standard X-Men 11 temperature at this height. Everyone's watching the Trevor video. It's been well documented, a lot of response videos. Do we have screens on the back? No, actually, Premium Economy Alpaca Airways, you don't get screens in the seats. Sorry about that. Is that what you find on the truck lorries? Like the metal thing there. We've got some more Premium Economy. It's actually a really nice cabin. The seats look epic. And here's economy. Ah! There's a nice terrain. Cool, that's very hilly over there. Passengers, well, yeah, it's probably the flight. Probably it's raining at this altitude. And here is the economy. Very nice cabin. Too old for screens on the seats. This bird probably had projectors. Yeah, of course. Little screens that pop down like that with the in-flight entertainment. That old CRT monitor. Ooh, stuck my head out the window a bit there. Beautiful. Jeez, we're zooming on quite quickly.
Minimums.
Quite a good tailwind today.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Thank you very much, Callum Greenhow, for joining us as a member. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat. Thank you very much for the support. Here we are right at the back. Huge. My body aircraft is so huge. Just about to see the contrails, but obviously you can't stick your head out that far in reality. Very nice. Well, let's jump back into the business end. Close the door. Security reasons. There we are. Lovely.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Thank you
10.
very much, Fezzy 16V. 16 volts of the 5. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Keep up the good work, Skipper. Really annoy our videos. Maybe you're getting the Airbus bug. Winking face.
Thank you very much, Fezzy. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for the fiver. This Airbus is not an Airbus. Well, it is Airbus, but it's a Boeing Airbus. That's why I like it so much. Guess we do fly a lot of Airbus these days as well. We flew the A340 not that long ago. We're back into 310. Appreciate it, Fezzy. Thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you. Microfish, what are the ramifications of not turning off the engine anti-ice? Not really that much. Extra fuel burn. At this altitude it won't make much difference. It's just going to be wasting fuel. You're going to be diverting bleed air. So the engines are going to have to burn more fuel to allow for the pressurisation to take that extra oomph. So yeah. Wing anti-ice though, well, I'm talking about the 737. If you're using wing anti-ice in the cruise, you're going to probably get bleed trip off. Wing anti-ice in comparison to engine anti-ice. Engine anti-ice is tapped straight from the engine. Wing anti-ice is actually from the bleed system. And in the 737, it has a huge bleed demand. And in the cruise, where bleed is primarily keeping the aircraft pressurised, it's too much, and you'll just trip the bleed. And it says that all the QRH items involving wing anti-ice, or where you have to turn it off or on, caution, you know, at high altitudes, using wing anti-ice could cause the bleed to trip off. So that's it. Guys, I'm just going to have a quick break. We've been streaming here for an hour and a half. When we get back, we'll start talking about the approach into Eagle County, an LDA approach. We'll talk about how we get that set up. If you are enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. We could almost get up to 306 likes for the A300-600. That'd be very cool. I'll see you all in about 4 or 5 minutes, guys. Thank you. Thanks for that, guys. Man flight, perfect time to join the stream, it seems. Just having a little chill, a little stretch my legs. Hey Matthew Presley, hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. Jamie, did you see the flight diversion for a fire in the cabin? What are the procedures for a fire in the cabin? Was that the Ryanair? Was there a Ryanair that went from the UK, or was that another aircraft? There was an Emirates involved in a incident recently as well. I don't know if that was the same thing. But fire in the cabin, I'll tell you now, any fire, regardless of the severity or situation, is so rare that I'd immediately complete emergency descent, get on the ground as soon as possible. Fire is one of those things in aviation where if you don't deal with it quickly, you can quickly get yourself into a situation where the aircraft is no longer flyable. So it's very much taught, smoke fire fumes, to deal with it in a sort of methodical way. But if you have any situation where you have an uncontained fire, statistically, you've got about 12 minutes to get the aircraft on the ground before it's uncontrollable. So emergency descent, nearest 10-mile final. If the situation was that dire, you consider ditching, because it's far better to attempt a ditching. And when I'm talking about it, I'm not talking about a PED fire, I'm talking about an uncontained fire in the cabin. You just get on the ground as soon as possible. I don't want to scare anyone, these things are incredibly rare. Again, we've been talking about so many incidents in the past. The 747 in the Middle East, Dubai, was it UPS or DHL? They had a cargo fire, and I think from having their first fire indication to actually then crashing, it was about 40 minutes or something. It was a long time. I think it was only 2 crew members, but they both died, obviously. So yeah, you just fire, get on the ground ASAP. Communication is very important with cabin crew and pilots as well, with regards to decision making. So yeah, that's what I do. Hi Sean Stanley, hi Captain. Missed your stream from Dublin the other day. Thank you for showing us what it's like on your side of the tech log from your engineering colleague in Dublin. Thank you very much, Sean. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I was sat on the ground for a long time then. It was an Aer Lingus from Birmingham to Dublin that landed in Manchester. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's I didn't know about that one. Not good at all. If you've got fire, just get on the ground as soon as possible. One of the things we used to teach during the type rating and on recurrent training was smoke and fire and fumes. And there's a checklist in the 737 KGEG smoke, fire and fumes checklist, which is a checklist which basically tries to find or isolate the source of the fire. So it's like fire if it's coming from a panel, so you basically shut down some systems and you basically keep shutting down things, and it keeps asking you, has the smoke gone worse, and it keeps reminding you if the smoke gets too bad or it's too thick, do the smoke removal checklist. Now the smoke removal checklist, if you're ever having to do that, you're going to be wanting to get on the ground ASAP. That's where smoke, fire, or the smoke or fumes become the greatest threat. And if I ever found myself in a situation with this checklist, where you're in the smoke and fire removal checklist, that's it. I'm made a 330 knots speed brake, routing direct to the nearest suitable runway, 10-mile final. That's what we're going to do. And one of the things that I always used to do in type rating, we sort of explain, we talk through the smoke fire fume checklist, and you say to the cadets, what would you do? You're looking at the checklist. Okay, the cabin crew come back to you and they now say the fire's uncontained, so they can't get it out. What would you do? And they start flicking through the QRH, looking for uncontained fire, looking at the manuals, uncontained fire. What I end up doing, I leant forward, grabbed the QRH and threw it on the floor, because there's no checklist which is going to save you from an uncontained fire. If you've got an uncontained fire, all your priority is right now is getting that aircraft on the ground, or if there's no suitable airport, in the sea or a river, whatever, because you start going in the manual, right, uncontained fire, so there's no checklist for that. It's just, you might as well throw the QRH on the fire, basically. But yeah, it's very nasty. Right, anyway, let's have a look at Eagle County. Oops. Oh, I've lost my iPad. Pre-saved view. There we are. Eagle County Regional. So, no arrivals, and the approach we're flying today is the LDA approach, runway 25. And cold temperature restricted airport, so there's cold temperature corrections which you need to make. Obviously, a bit pointless in X-Plane 11 because cold temperature altimetry error is not modelled. But you wouldn't need it today anyway, it's 1 degree, so plus 10, there you see, look, well, actually they have changes even above 0, but in Europe, I think it's more to do with the elevation there, but yeah, you can see, look, 1,000 feet is only small increments, but you see as it gets cold, look, you have to make significant changes to the height above the airport on the altimeter to ensure terrain clearance. Remember, hot to cold, look out below, what was it from your PPL days? Same applies. So it's like the airport charts, it's all the thing we can select really. So, well, let's have a look here. Turn the music down slightly as well, also briefing. Just getting the any checklist here in the background. So it has sort of like a little descent preparation thing as well. So we're going to be routing, guys. If we have a look here, plan, select our ND. So we're on existing airways at the moment. And we're going to eventually find our way towards the Kremlin, or Kremlin. There we are, Romeo Lima Golf. So I actually need to select the arrival in the FMC because I've only got direct to Romeo Lima Golf at the airport. So let's go to KEGE, start, there's no arrivals. It is LDA 25 via Kremlin, insert. There we are, that's looking better. So, let's check our heights. MSA then, first thing to point out, top of the chart here. High to low, look out below. Thanks, Dealey, for remember. MSA to the east, 15,300, so a lot of high terrain around here. Very cautious of that if you get yourself a little bit off track. We're going to be routing towards Kremlin. From Kremlin, we go to Quandary, minimum height on that segment, 8 miles, is 14,000 feet. Going to be at 16,400, so that's fine. From Quandary to Voaxa, probably saying these completely wrong. Minimum height for that sector, 13,800, will be at 14,740. Going to then Aquila on the extended centre line, we've got to be above 12,900, we've got 12,900 or above. So, it looks like we're meeting all the minimum height segments for each sector there, being cautious of the terrain, of course. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. Talks about how the VGSI and LDA glide path are not coincident. That's because if you look here, the glide slope very steep here, 3.8 degrees. Now, key thing here, typical approach 3 degrees. You need to bear in mind anything higher than 3.5 is it's only 0.8 degree. That's a lot with regards to energy management. So prior to glide slope capture, we want to make sure we've got well, I don't know about the A300. If I was in the NG, flap 10 at least, flap 10 speed as well. We'll try and work out what we need for the 300. The good thing is it's a little bit draggier than the NG, so I can use the speed brake to capture the profile, keep the speed under control. But from the extended sense line, well, we'll insert the localizer, Weehal, Eagle, Washi, it's all in there. The final approach fix is Washi at 10 miles, 9,800 Washi, 9,800 of feet. Now it does say 3 degrees here, so it's a little bit shallow, it should say 3.8, so we'll just monitor the glide slope. Now why is this an LDA approach? So an LDA approach is typically a localizer approach where the final approach track is not lined up with the runway. You think ILS and localizers, they match the runway QDM. For whatever reason, they don't, most commonly terrain. Now, how many degrees are we offset by? It's a small amount, but it's enough to class it as an LDA approach. Where does it say? I'm not used to Jefferson charts, guys. We use a different chart, my operator. Should say somewhere the difference between, well, final approach course look 250, and runway QDM is 3 degrees, but it should say somewhere 3 degree difference. Jumpy charts, just information overload. Well, somewhere on this chart it'll say 3 degrees difference. But anyway, we're happy with the points there programmed. Speed-wise, I really want to be at Queller. That's 18 miles. speed have we produced there? 100. Well, it's just 186 knots there. It's actually quite low. We've got the height in there. 250 below 115 apparently. So yeah, we could get away with that as long as we start slowing down, which it says we will be. It says course offset. Yeah, there we are. Thanks, Jeppy. LDA course offset 3 degrees. There we are, right where my mouse was. So there we go. Now, localizer, LDA approaches, typically a localizer only, but some, like this one, have a glide slope, which makes it easier. So essentially, it's an offset ILS, and you disconnect to the point where it pretty much leaves you lined up with the runway, but it won't be exactly on the final approach track. Now, question for anyone, I don't know if Matthew Presley's here, you're a US operator, TERP's very different to all the stuff we have in Europe here. When you get your minimums here, daytime here is 8330. Okay, so we're going to take off approach page 8330. We'll stick that in here. Oh, final, I can actually probably set that 3-pointer here. Airbus! What have I done? 3 degrees. Oh, he's doing Airbus stuff now. How do I delete that? Oh, I've broken it. Well, okay. Final approach 3 degrees, apparently I've set it to. So look at the minimums, very high here, 8330, 1800 feet minimums, okay. Missed approach required, minimum climb gradient of 275 feet per nautical mile. I don't have any guidance here in regards to bulk landing. So if you continue to approach past minimums and go around, you might not guarantee terrain clearance for the missed approach. So I don't have any additional guidance than the chart here. I should think if you decide to go around below minimums, obviously unlikely for IMC, but let's say you get to 500 feet AGL and ATC clears you to go around, there'll be a separate procedure than the missed approach, because we're going to probably struggle to fly overhead snow. You'll see it on the approach here, it's basically a mountain right on the extended centre line. So I should think there is a bulked landing or go around below minimum procedure, because I wouldn't want to try and execute this missed approach below minimum, having gone around below minimums, but I couldn't find any guidance there. Matthew, please don't tell me you'll use the NavBlue charts. We tried to switch those a few years ago, and man, they were horrible. We use NavBlue. Matthew Presley, let's not debate this. A NavBlue chart is so much better, so much easier to read. The information is so much clearer. Ironically, an Airbus company. I love them. They're so much better than Jefferson's. They're fine. Jefferson charts, the world-leading chart provider, but just the information is just like sometimes a bit heavy. The airport charts not as good as NavBlue either. So yeah, bulk landing, not sure. I don't know if Matthew Presley operates here, but it'd be quite. I don't know what we should do if we have to go around below minimums, because I don't have any guidance specific. I think this requires additional training as well. You can't just fly to this airport on your roster. You have to. I don't know if it's a Cat C airport, but you need to do additional sim training of some sort. It's a pretty tricky one there. Oh yeah, Panzops. Thanks, Ricardo. I've completely forgot the word there. Jefferson is Boeing, I think, as well. Ricardo, it looks like you can only go below MDA during daytime, or at least that's what the ball flag seems to say. Well, yeah, you can only go below minimums if you're visual with the runway. What I'm trying to work out is if you're below minimums, which is obviously quite a distance away from the runway still, 1,800 feet, we're still 5-6 miles out here at the missed approach point, or 3, what was that, 0.3 for LDA? Yeah, what would you do if you go around below the minimums? If I don't know, but there'd be a specific bulk landing procedure. Not sure about there. We have the airport in our op specs. So hopefully someone will leave it in the video comment below afterwards. Anyway, we're happy with the approach. We'll use the offset ILS. Pappy's on the right. Missed approach procedure if we have to go around at minimums. Climb direct to the snow VOR. It's a right turn. 14,600 outbound on radial 001 to Jesse, and continue to climb and hold to 14,600. So go to the hold and continue climbing in the hold. There we are. So that's the approach. Without the glide slope, obviously higher minimum, sort of LDA localizer only in that case. Let's have a look at the landing performance then. How are we from distance from top of descent here? obviously. Have we already passed top descent? Why have I got the vertical deviation guidance? Ah? Has that got to do with me? I broke it, didn't I? I broke the aeroplane. We've already activated descent mode. Look, I've got vertical deviation. I've lost top of descent, and I think that's what that little pink dot is there. Because I typed in 3 degrees. How do I go back to not this? Danny, so if I understand it correctly, LDA is only an LDA if it has an offset localizer. More than 3 degrees if it just means just an offset lock approach. I think it just means an offset lock approach. You can have any offset. The only thing to remember, it's certainly a Panzops thing, if it's greater than 30 degrees, you have to have circling minima. That's the only main thing really. Otherwise you can use the localizer minima, but if the offset's more than 30 degrees, you've got to use circling minima. Hands, get my selfie stick. I need iniBuilds people, A300 people. How do I revert back to? How do I get rid of his vertical deviation? Because I think I've set it here. Off you go, buddy. Off you go. Just how'd you do? Try pressing out hold. No. How do I get rid of that? I've tried clearing it. Let me just put in a vertical deviation. Let me put minus 2000. Nope. Nope. Re-enter cruise out. How do I do that? I could try and do a quick cruise climb up to 3.7. That might fix it. But the thing is, how do I change that? This is where I miss my 7.3. Econ descent. So it's in descent mode now, but it's fixed at 3 degrees, I think. Prog page cruise level. Thanks. Oh. It's just all it's done is updated my vertical deviation, but saying I'm 2,000 feet low now. That's not really done anything. Okay, let's just start our descent to that little, oh, far 106 miles. Oh, we're already starting our descent soon. Oh, I broke it. Yeah, by accidentally changing the information here, it's just put it in this vertical deviation mode, and I don't know how to get it out. Push the out knob. Nope. Let's do the landing performance, so then we'll try and work it out later. Welcome. Distance here. Landing performance. Let's grab the weather actually. Weather request. KEGE. No. Go KEGE's right, isn't it? Have I got my codes wrong? Is it snowing there now? I swear it was clear when I last checked. Cav OK. Flip, it started snowing. Great. There we are. So, very windy, 260-18, gusting 25, 9 statute miles, light snow, but then it says clear, 1 degrees, 2997, many remarks. What are these? 13 Rab, what? 15E49, and no precipitation, snow began, peak wind speed and direction, tendency. Oh my god, these American metals. Alright, we'll use wet figures then. KEGE, runway 25. Let's grab the weather. FS flight, try reselecting the approach. That's also a good call as well. Actually, just because I'm fiddling around, let me just do the performance first. One step at a time. Landing weight. Oh, look, it's now actually passed up a descent? Yeah, I think I've actually passed it, look, because my vertical deviation is going down. Well, I think we should start descending anyway. Let's go down. Let's just go to level change, just to 200 to start with. Level change, because vertical deviation is showing me on profile. This one's showing me as 2,500 feet high. I've definitely screwed up something here. Top of the sense in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, 80 miles flip. I'm way too high here. Just maintain decimal 78 descent for now, let the indicated airspeed catch up. And anyway, it's 114.5 tons. We'll use full flap, try brakes low, reverse, we'll use full. No, damn it, wrong button. Won't need spoilers out just yet, because if I try and use spoilers whilst descending in Mach, the rate of descent will get quite excessive. Should be enough to hopefully capture my mark profile. Don't forget the elevation here is super high, 6,500, so you've got to take the density altitude into account. Our ground speed is going to be a lot higher, but thankfully the headwind will help. So we've got 2,700 metres, it's saying with low on a wet runway. Factored landing distance still is 2,200 metres with 800 metre margin. So we're going to go flat, full, on the brake low, and reverse thrust there. Anyway, we're now inbound to the beginning of the arrival, which is Romeo Lima Golf. Another 33 miles to go. And that is saying 3,400 high. I'll use a speed brake now. Let's reselect the approach here. I don't know how to get rid of this vertical deviation. Ever since I put that in, I've lost all profile information. Well, it's on the progress page. I've got 3,000 feet high here, but it's just saying on profile there. Something I've done, but I will reselect the approach. Maybe that will. Before I do that, actually no, let's try to reselect it so it doesn't break it. So I'm just going to temporarily select the other runway, or ILS 25. Insert. Ah, that's done something. Right, that was a great suggestion. Whoever that was in chat. Let's now reselect the approach we want. KGEG. Now technically it is the ILS 25 I want. Let's just put Romeo Lima Golf in its flight plan. Excellent work. Take off approach. There we are. I've got rid of that thing now. Superb suggestion. And there's our profile coming up as well. Whee! As we go down. Who was that said put the approach back in to fix it? Brilliant suggestion. Not sure. Thank you. Anyway, there's our profile. So let's select profile. Oh god, look at our speed. Right up at MMO there. Keep the speed brake out just to bring the speed back. Excellent. That's it. I think we've done everything. FMS, routing's in, decision heights. We're not going to set. We'll turn that off. We've got the MDA in the FMS. It was 8,330 feet, so we can set it here as a reminder. There's the little yellow. Oh no, that's the altitude. Just put that to 8,350. There we are. Water brake we've set. Approach briefing complete. I didn't mean to do that either. There our speed brake stowed. We're on profile mode and maintaining about 280 knots based on that speed. Inbound to Kremling, and from Kremling we can go down to 14,000. So well, I'm happy to set that now. So I'm going to go to 14,000. We'll set the local QNH. I've got rid of my little printed. To print it again, wasting all the ink and paper. 29907. 2997 set. We'll just keep an eye on profile mode. Oh, profile mode? Ah, I thought profile mode was going to keep me on profile. We're on profile, but we're getting higher and higher. 1,000 feet. Ah, 1,000 feet high. Level change. Why is profile mode putting me high on purpose? I thought profile mode kept me on profile. Yeah, I was perfectly on profile when I selected it. Alright, well, we'll just keep the speed up. Elevations are about 15,000 feet at AGL. Seatbelt sign coming on. Please extinguish your cigarettes as well. Turn the music completely off. as we enter this critical phase. Look at the scenery though. Imagine being in the loo when that descent happened. Everyone is very surprised. Guys routinely on the line. Rates of descent 4.5, 5,000 feet are completely normal. What? I don't know what's going on. It was perfectly on profile mode, and now it's not. I was on profile, and now it's 1,400 feet high, but the aircraft didn't seem to really react to that. 35 miles to go. And we're now inbound 2. This is going to happen very quickly as well. So down to 14,000, which was set on the MCP. I'm going to bring the speed back to 250 knots now. Which is not going to help me recapture the profile, but the effective speed brake will. Oh, tower's online now. I'm not, so I'll preset the frequency anyway. Yeah, there could be traffic everywhere, by the way. No idea where traffic is. We're still on Unicom.
260 away.
Oh, there's a tower frequency. We're just going to wait for them to call me. So I've still got the speed brake out because we're still high on profile according to this, 900 feet. But the glide set's coming in, so I'm not
40,
sure why.
30, 20, 10.
What the bleeding hell? What?
Hey CPT, a long overdue donation to say thank you so much for keeping me going after my father passed away suddenly on 24th July at only 62. Flight simming has kept me going and everything I know I've learned from watching your streams. Thank you.
Anyone want another Airbus A300? I'm not accepting that sort of money without doing another Airbus A300 giveaway. Thank you, Anon Flysim. £247. All thoughts to your father passing last year at such a young age as well. Really sorry to hear that, man. And yeah, wow, what a generous donation. That is absolutely crazy. When I get stupid donations like that, it's just that is just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. Look, iniBuilds have given me an Airbus A300, and with that sort of generosity, I can't return the favour enough to all of you guys for all it is, so I would like to use some of that to give away. I'll purchase an additional A300 for you. So guys, 2 giveaways after landing. Thank Anon Flight Simmer, he's the one that's doing the second giveaway, and iniBuilds the first. Anon Flight Simmer, that's just unbelievable. So sorry about your father. I don't know what to say. I'm very, you know, I need to fly the airplane. I need to fly the airplane up soon. Let me do that, and Anon Flight Simulator. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Right, I'm coming up to the localizer here. That's completely flabbergasted me. 14. Oh, we're gonna level off here. 14,000. We can go down to 12,900. 12,900. I need to do the pre-cruise checks, or post-cruise checks. Well, I am sure your father is looking down and watching us fly, and you can enjoy the stream as well, man. Jesus. Right, 230 knots. Still got the speed brake out. We're going to need that. Still haven't been told to contact tower yet. We'll do the post-cruise checks. Doing it so late, early, because don't forget the elevation is 6,500, so we're only 8,000 feet above the ground here. So lights on, turn off, put those lights on. The rest is all done. Flip. I've got to go to ILS. ILS still a little bit high, but that's easily recoverable. 220 knots. We've got the speed brake still out, and we can now step down from Aquila to well, now on the localizer. I'm happy to go to 9,800. There's the localizer alive. And we'll just keep the speed back. There's 220 knots. Keep the speed brake as well.
Eagle traffic vision jet
250 knots. I'm actually going to select slats now.
About 20 miles to the
as well.
The east, outside of the airspace, is doing flight maneuvers 12,000 feet.
Alarm for lock. My goodness, ain't on flight sim. So you've got slats at 15, and with speed brake we are quite high here. Glide slope is below us, but with slats out as well, we can actually go to flat 15 below 215 knots. So let's bring the speed back to 200. And then we'll select flat 15 and slats 15, recover the energy, Got to remember on approaches, don't just go quickly to recover the profile. Make sure you slow down as well, which obviously keeps you high. But with slats and flaps out at this point at 13 miles, we should still recover it. Below 215 knots now, so slats and flaps are 15. I'm gonna. Tower haven't asked me to contact them yet. Oh, Tower's offline. Oh no, they're back online. I'll contact Tower myself. There we are. Now we're established on the localizer. My operator, we can actually set elevation plus 1,000 feet. We have to have glide slope capture by 4 miles then. So that would be 7,600 we can set here. There we are. So with now 2,000 feet per minute, 200 knots indicated, that glide slope will soon come back. Tower, hello, it's Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, established on the LDA approach runway 25 at 11 miles.
Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee, Eagle Tower, good afternoon. Number 2 following the Delta 737 on a 2-mile final. Runway 25, wind 250 at 21, gust 28, clear wind.
25, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee.
Helicopter 01, Eagle Tower.
Still a bit high here, might just need another notch of flops. 205 knots.
Helicopter 01, Eagle Tower, you want frequency?
Actually, overcooked this slightly.
We have the helicopter in sight, it won't be a factor for us.
JHL, do you fellow pilots discuss your channel?
Yeah, that's
fine. Sometimes. So there's glide slope alive. My operator, we need to have glide slope capture by 4 miles in VMC. Going to be making sure we keep the speed out there. I was actually quite close to a high energy approach, but I've done everything I do at my operator to recapture the profile. We still have the gear as an option, but I shouldn't think we need that. 8 miles is actually quite tight. There's 1 dot, so we can arm approach. Vertical speed here just to continue driving it down and bring the speed back to the flat speed. No, don't add thrust, don't add thrust. There we are, glide slope capture now because I've got speed back to speed and we'll start driving back. Get ready to configure the gear as well. Missed approach altitude 40.
Delta 6501, welcome to Eagle.
It's a bit high on profile there. Everything I did there is sort of how to recover safely and proficiently onto the glide slope. Don't let the speed get too high. Configure accordingly. And if ever,
That wasn't your fault, the guy just didn't turn off, we're good.
if you ever feel like you're not going to make it, just fly the missed approach. That's the safest option. Right, we could drop the gear down. Just a little bit high for the next flapping of sets. The next set of flaps. I'm losing it. We'll set a final approach speed 127 plus 5's 132.
And over the height, 2208.
We'll select the landing flap.
Yeah, 2308, Eagle Tower, welcome back.
3040 initially. Give a landing checklist.
300 on a 3-mile final, runway
So
25.
speed brake arms.
Wind now 25021, gust 28.
Ground spoilers are set, lights are on, and landing flap coming in now. Needs to be fully configured, 500 feet AGL, already past minimums.
Spokane 1985, Eagle Tower, begin reducing your speed.
So 500 feet, so we need to be fully stable.
37, about 5 miles of trail they're showing.
And landing checklist, flaps 40, 30, green light, gears on, down lock, checks completes. There we are. Disconnecting. And disconnecting the autopilot. Ooh, a bit of wind change there. So keep descending.
So it's now 172 uniform, roger, advise ready to take.
Oscillation there. Ooh, speed, get back up. Oh, the thrust is so slow. Let's recover. 3 reds sinking there. My goodness, I don't know. Just about stable. I'll keep descending now. Speed's still too low. Doing about 130. Oof. That's better. Just about recovered it. Just watching the rate of descent. So remember, it's a little bit of a steeper approach there. 3 reds, that's okay at this stage. Keep descending. Check. Close.
Cessna 172 uniform, runway
Oh, it's a
25.
float.
Yeah, Alpha.
5? Just in the touchdown zone. Oh dear. That was a bit of a rushed approach. Oh, and I forgot the nose
Spokane
key as well.
1985,
Nice, speed breaks
number
up.
2, 3 miles in trail to 7
Reverses.
for correction. Yeah, 737, runway 25 for wind. 25021, gust 28, clear wind.
80 knots. I'll have to go for the second one here a little bit too fast.
Good on runway 25,
60, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Pack 3 X-ray Yankee, welcome to Eagle.
Eagle
Left turn
County.
when able, taxi to ramp via Alpha.
Take next left and taxi to the gate via Alpha, Alpaca 3 X-ray Yankee. That was a very rushed approach there. So sorry guys, we got it in, that's the important thing. But everything happens very quickly here because of the height, the density altitude, so your ground speed's a lot higher. We recovered it nicely. Yeah, sorry about the rushing there. I mean, I was so flabbergasted by Acon. That's just crazy, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But it was all safe, it was all legal, everything was there. The speed got a bit low. I was probably pushing 5-6 knots below VREV. You know, if I did that, ideally should have gone around. The thrust is quite slow to respond in the A300. Apparently it's quite close to what it should be, but X-Plane's quite limiting with regards to thrust response curves, so I think they've just done it in a way which is sort of average all around the thrust regime. But when I started adding thrust low on speed, it took a long time for that N1 to increase, which meant the speed bled off quite a lot there. But we're safely down.
United 2308, try your best to use minimum time on runway. You got that traffic about a mile.
Turn-offs coming off,
Copy
leave
that,
taxi light on.
And if you can't, no problem, don't rush it.
Weather radar.
Tower.com 1985, we're way too high, we're actually in a misapproach.
Yeah, I ended up doing that. It's quite tricky here. One of the things as mentioned, the density altitude here, obviously the air is less dense here, so your airspeed indicator is under reading, so your actual true airspeed is higher. Now, the headwind helped out a lot there, but had we got no wind, if you fly this approach here with no wind, look at the difference between your indicated airspeed and your ground speed. That's from the density altitude. It's about 20 knots difference at this height. So to bear in mind. But we had the speed brake out for the whole approach there, but profile mode seemed to be doing a great job. But then again, I was always told by the INI team and other A300 pilots in the forum that profile was a bit naff on this aircraft anyway, and certain airliners seldom used it, so we got down here, that's the important thing. Strobes, thanks. Nice little bit of taxi music finally. There we are. This is Ixometry scenery, by the way. Whilst we're doing the giveaway, I'll have a look around the scenery for you. It's £15, very high quality. I think the runway textures, you'll show you a bit closer, absolutely beautiful. I love these classic black fill in the gaps, which you see in a lot of American airports as well. When it's an older taxiway, but it's a really high quality airport. Worthwhile adding to your inventory if you're from the area or you want to fly into this airport frequently. Right, APU's available, so we only need to shut the engines down because it's an Airbus, don't need to change it over, turn the lights off.
In.com 1985, just say your intentions for
I think stand 1 is suitable for a 7.5, so it should be just about suitable for us.
We're just going to go all the way around, we're way too high, we don't want to mess it up.
.com 1985, Roger, you can monitor UCOM 122.8, we'll talk to you in a minute.
122.8 we'll speak to you on the way back in, .com 1985.
.com 1985, just be advised there is company traffic about 15 miles
final. I'm still a bit shocked from that donation. I was speechless, absolutely speechless.
Cessna 172 uniform, make left traffic, runway 25.
Right, I've looked here. Don't want to run you over though, so stop. There we are. Right. Parking brake is set.
Cessna 172 uniform, make left close traffic,
Good. What else have we got to clean up?
14.1.
14.1. Window heat pro peak can come off. Well, pro peak at least. There we are. And we'll put the engines to shut off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eagle County for the first ever time. Turn the beacon offline now, just to get the air bridge attached. There we are. There she is in one piece. Just, yeah, a bit of a rushed approach, that one. Nice. Beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. Love this aircraft. What I like about it is when the workload increased there on final approach, I found out it was a little bit high. I sort of fly it like I do the 7.3, just configure accordingly. The MCP, or whatever they call it, an Airbus FCP. I just manipulate it the same way I would on the 7.3. Get the flaps down, control the energy of the aircraft with the speed brake and the flaps. As I said, it's very tempting to keep the speed high here, but don't forget the elevation catches you out. You think, oh, I'm at 9,000 feet here, I've still got ages to land. No, you're only 3,000 feet above the aerodrome elevation there, so you just got to keep that into account. What are you using for the air bridge breeze? I have SAM installed, I think, next power, but I just leave it. I think it just automatically does its thing at certain sceneries, but yeah, Sam's using that, SAM 3. Have you tried the 767 as well? I haven't, no, I haven't used the flight factor 7.5. Air bridge is a bit high, yeah. You're going to have to sort of jump a little bit. There we are. What's happened to my sounds? I just went inside there. Wow, alright then. Well, giveaway time. Now, as I mentioned, iniBuilds are the ones that provide me with the aircraft. They're so generous to content creators, and they update aircraft. They often give a copy away to give away. So the first A300 giveaway is from them. It was from last stream, where the claimant, or the winner of that one, already owned the A300, so there's no point giving him a copy. He accidentally claimed it, so I'm re-rolling that today. The second one is from Anon Flight Simmer, who absolutely... It's the biggest donation I've ever received in one stream in the history of the channel. I've never received as much as that, so I don't know what to say on Flight Simmer. And when I get silly amounts like that, I feel very guilty. You know, I enjoy making these things, but this is, at the end of the day, this isn't work for me. I'm providing it's entertaining for me. I enjoy it, and the fact that people recognise that and donate is just amazing. Obviously, that helps me out a lot, but it doesn't feel right just to not do another thing. So I'd like to use a bit of that money to do a giveaway as well. So Anon Flight Simmer is giving away another copy of the A300. I'll mention it to iniBuilds. I'll pay for that, and that's from Anon Flight Simmer, not me. So 2 giveaways here. Oh, if it was a Beluga, well, I'll tell you what, whoever wins, the first one will be for the A300. For the second one, you let me know what you want from the iniBuilds store. A310, A300 Beluga, let me know what you want. So how about first giveaway just for the A300, the second giveaway, any one of the other iniBuilds aircraft. MJ there will easily sort it out for me. I'll just, you let me know what it is, you create your store account, he'll add it, I'll get all the payment sorted on the side there, so we'll do it that way. Cool. So I haven't actually even dreamt up anything for the giveaway, like keywords or anything like that. So the first one, let me just get that all set up here in the background. Giveaways, keywords. Now, listen here carefully, guys. Only type this word in chat once. If you do it more than once, okay, you won't get a chance of winning it. So only type this keyword in once. Anti-spam is enabled. You must only type it in one time, okay? All you got to do in chat is put in A300, A300. Put in A300. You don't need to use exclamation mark. Just A300, and then you'll have a chance of winning the giveaway, okay? And I'll let that run for 2 or 3 minutes. Alex Robertson, you've got the right idea. Joshua, Jill, Board, Matt Burgess. There you go, guys. That's counting everyone there. Amazing. Well, whilst that's going on, Xometry very kindly sent over a copy of their scenery. Let's go and have a look around it, in case you're interested in buying it. It's £15. I'm getting their thing up here, so I'm not really prepared for this. Tell you all the key features and what it contains. Have a look at the next giveaway. What airport is this in Union County? Welcome. There we are. So, I don't know much about this airport, apart from the fact you've got a challenging approach to try, the LDA approach and the ILS. I think the other approach will be a circle only. I don't think there's any precision approaches onto it. But it includes SAM jetways and marshalers, as you've seen there, high resolution ground textures, and actually it is a very attractive runway. Look at those textures. I'm not one for doing scenery reviews, but they are superb runway textures. You can land on those as you please, and I love the little, as I mentioned, the taxiway does show its age. Very nice. Has all the correct terminals, buildings, stands. I don't know who operates into this airport, but several US regional carriers, I should think. And there's an Alpaca Airways 737 coming in on short final there. Keep typing in A300 in chat. I think they've got some sort of military presence here as well. What have we got here? The Colorado Army National Guard are based here, and also High Altitude Army Aviation Training Site. We've got 3 Chinooks on stand, ready to go. I guess this is the oversized fire station too. But yeah, very nice from Exometry. Thank you very much for letting me use your scenery. There we are. Oh, he's got his speed brakes out still. All right, floaty. He's sort of like I did, to be fair. He's plonked it down. Wise decision, sir.
50, 40, 30,
oh, ain't on.
20, 10.
Ain't on, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Sorry CPT, didn't mean to mount the pressure, but I couldn't just sit and watch anymore. Just didn't feel right. I flew the new 737-600 into Bristol with 142 FPM, so you didn't do a bad job, Steve. Smile, it's my genuine pleasure.
Oh, I don't Flight Sim, well, you didn't need to highlight that, but thank you. You don't need to apologise at all. People like to be under pressure and see how I cope with it, but no, it was just crazy. I don't want to say it. The generosity. Well, I'm going to have a good night out with that. That's for sure. So thank you very much, Aidon Flight Simmer. Right, of course, I didn't ask a question. I just told you to put in A300 in chat. So the first giveaway here for the A300. I'll roll it now. If you look in chat, it will tell you who the winner is. The winner is Johan Kolbum. Johan Kolbum, a regular subscriber, not a member, so not rigged. Okay, congratulations, Johan Kolbum. You have won the Airbus A300 from iniBuilds. If you could do me a massive favour, Johan Kolbum, get in contact with me via social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on all of those. Email me. And he goes, yes, in chat. He realises how lucky he is. And once I get that message, I'll get you all set up and get that A300 sent to you as soon as possible. So, that's the first giveaway from iniBuilds. Second giveaway is from Anon Flight Simmer, who sent a £247 donation. Like I said, I'm not going to allow that just to I don't, you know what I mean. It's going to go straight away through. I'd like to use some of that to do a little giveaway for you guys. So the second one is from Anon Flight Simmer, who very generously sent me £247. I think a little bit towards the community, everyone here, to have a chance of winning another iniBuilds product is worthwhile. And that's my way of saying thanks to iniBuilds as well for providing me with copies to give away too. So if you don't have, you have 250 plus 3, you're right, Paul Howard. So because some of you own the A300 or the Beluga or the A310, the second giveaway is for any iniBuilds product of your choice. You can choose any of their aircraft, so if you already have the 300, still enter. You might want the 310 or the Beluga. So it's perhaps going to get a few more people there. So let me just reset the giveaway here. Reload the page. There we are. I ain't flight. It's not from me, it's your generosity. No, it's you. You saw that bounce, but no, it's my pleasure to do these. What should we have to do? Well, I don't know. I'm not feeling very imaginative today. Oh, let's have... okay, let's have...
50, 40, 30,
David Wells,
20,
thank you very much
10.
for the 5... Oh, no. Honestly.
What a kind gesture to use some of that great donation to do another giveaway. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Oh, David Wells, not at all. It's very kind of you to donate again and to suggest that, but I'm doing what is right. You know, I like to do giveaways occasionally, and you guys are always so generous all the time, and some of that I like to give away back to the community. So not at all, my pleasure, no problem at all. Right, okay. Guys who don't know this, you'll soon see what the answer is. But everyone knows that I fancy a particular well-known actress. Just put her surname in chat, okay? Everyone knows who my favourite actress is. Just put her surname in chat. So you'll see the members come up this first. Tim Watts, you know who it is, Tim. Oh my goodness. Actress. The first. Listerman's got it. Listerman. Romulus. Matt Burgess. Greg Scott. John Padfield. There we go. Brad Pitt. Is this a quiz? Just the surname. Just the surname. Don't need to put anything else. Don't need to put exclamation mark. Joe Trage Depp. You Downey Jr. Joe, I'm seeing these, even though they're going very quickly. Joshua said for Tom Cruise. Outrageous. Chuck Norris. Right, guys, if you're unsure, most of you have Instagram. I'll show you why and who I have looking over me at all times during the stream. Okay. And you'll see. So, since I was quite a young boy, or a young teenager, I've always had a thing for Julia Roberts. And I have a cardboard cutout of her on my desk, which I've now just shared to my Facebook, Instagram story. Anyone that's not watching this stream is going to be going, what on earth is going on, Flight Deck to Sim? Why have you just posted a picture of a cardboard cutout of Julia Roberts? Oh dear. Lots of people have entered this giveaway. That's what I'd like to see. I'm just going to go for another 30 seconds or so, just in case you've got slightly slow internet. Oh, I've got people reacting to the story already. Darren D. Birds. Yeah, crush. Yeah, you could say that. It's my teenage crush. I'm seeing on the Instagram story, I'm seeing people reacting with like the fire emoji. Oh dear. Of course, the answer I was looking for was Roberts, as in Julia Roberts, my favourite actress of all time. Will Julia be visible on the Yokecam stream? Excellent. Yes, it will be Domino Mosina in the background with a Flight Deck to Sim hoodie on. Right then, let's roll this. Let's see who the winner was. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, the winner of this giveaway, where's the roll it button? Here we go. Is... oh, hold on. There we go. Zika the King. Zika the King. You are the winner of this giveaway. That is any product from the iniBuilds store. The A310, A300 Beluga, whatever you like. He goes, what? Question mark. Yes, Zika the King, you are the winner of this giveaway. Congratulations. He's in so much shock he doesn't know what to do. Congratulations to you. Good game. Not rigged. Hashtag no members one. Unbelievable. He goes, yay! Congratulations. It's the same as you, Zika the King. Drop me a message on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll tell you what to do, and I'll get iniBuilds to add whatever aircraft you want to your store page or your profile on the iniBuilds store, and you can enjoy flying that for the foreseeable future. There we are. What a end to the stream. Just unbelievable. Rigged, no member one. I know, it's just completely random. A lot of non-regular. A lot of regular viewers in today. There we are. Well, yeah, as I said, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to sign out when we do the replay and stuff. But firstly, yeah, thanks to ATC as well. They all came on the line. The Airbus A300 is available. There's a levitating A340. Wonderful. Yeah, the A300 V2.01 has been released, updated very recently. Great aircraft, one of my favourite pay aircraft as well. Massive thanks to iniBuilds for providing all the aircraft to me as well. You can check them out on inibuilds.com.co.uk. Just Google some great aircraft. I've got an iniBuilds playlist as well. You can see me stream all their aircraft there. Excellent. So we'll turn the music down in the background here and cue the funky replay music. There we are. My goodness me. I'm just story now with no context whatsoever unless you're watching this stream. So sort of, I'm not going to fly the entire approach here, but looking from about there, just turn this funky replay music down, a bit of fly live. So this picture here, look at that. Actually, that's not a nice, well, I'd say not a nice picture. It's a picture, you know, you're quite high, 4 whites, probably about, you know, 400 or 500 feet above profile there. But at that stage, I had everything I needed. 12 miles out, 198, I think it was reducing to 180. You can see the rate of descent increasing, because I think I was getting spoilers and speed brake out there. But you can see actually the altitude that's quite low. 2,000 feet per minute. I don't really want to be doing descent rates any higher than that close to the ground, especially with this terrain. There's a glide slope coming in. Now, my operator, we have to have glide slope capture by 4 miles in VMC, 5 miles in IMC. So we caught that. Let's have a look. It's still well within limits of my operator, which I would have respected. So there was glide slope capture at about 7 miles. I only had about 3 miles left until we got it. And 190 knots at 7 miles, this sort of altitude, it's a little bit too fast, but we had to speed brake out for that entire duration until we started configuring with the gear at this stage. But if you have a look on YouTube at if you type in YouTube flight deck to sim, intercept the glide slope from above, I actually have a dedicated tutorial on the sort of profile on how to recover when you're high on the glide slope safely and within realistic SOPs we use at my operator, which you might find quite interesting. Right, let's have a look at this floaty buttery landing. It was a little, well, it wasn't even a butter, was it? It was a little bit long. The sounds on this are wicked. Listen to that. Quite firm for a second, so there's the checked quite high, so I checked about 20-30 feet too high there. Look, whoa, I think it was just reacting to the quite high rates of descent, and I just held the attitude. But yeah, we were just in the touchdown zone. It wouldn't be much later. So yeah, I checked way too high. So there's the check was about 40 feet. There you go. I wanted to be really 20 feet lower when I checked. And then I sort of not pitched nose down, but just reduced the back pressure slightly. Just in the touchdown zone. Yeah, not my finest approach. It's just about within limits. Stuff in the town. Yeah, way lower, about 30 feet above the ground when I stopped checking. There's the reverse coming in. Yeah, we got a little bit low on speed at one point as well, last 300 feet. Shoved the thruster on it, and these engines are so slow to react. It takes some time. Very good. Do a little vacation. I love doing the little cameras by the point where we exit the runway. It's like we've got a little camera team there. Let you enjoy the sounds for a second. Love the replay talking to the sim. Really cool. Thanks, Bounce, for the livery as well. TNT Crafty keep doing a stream of the new Skylab C47 done one. Been a long time since we've done it again. I'll think about that. There we are, right then. Well, I'll put you in the engine view so you can enjoy the approach there. Actually, which view do we want? Yeah, I'll give you the engine view. Anyway, I'll put you back out here so you can enjoy the approach and the beautiful scenery into Eagle County here in Colorado. Thank you to everyone, iniBuilds Exometry, for providing the scenery and the excellent aircraft as well. Where do I start? Well, firstly, I have to highlight Anon Flight Simmer's incredible generosity there. I mean, £250 total donation there. That's the most I've ever received in the history I've been streaming and making which is 5 years. I mean, that is a substantial amount of money. You know, thanks, man. I'll be putting that in my savings account, and it's my pleasure to run into the giveaway and to spend a little bit of that back on the community. So yeah, thanks. No stopping me saying thanks to everyone else that donated. Thank you so much for all of your generosity. Never ever requested or required, but I really appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much to all the members. Thank you so much for the continued support as well, for everything you do as well. I hope you're enjoying your time as a member as well. To all my regular viewers, thank you very much for popping in. As ever, big favours to like the video, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest content. Guys, if all goes well tomorrow in my studying of the Challenger 650, I will hopefully be streaming that to the upcoming Hot Start Challenger 650 on Thursday, late afternoon, early evening, and then Friday I'm also off, so I'm planning to do the inaugural yoke cam stream in the Zebra Mod 737. So guys, I hope you can make that too. Enjoy the rest of your evening, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Good night from me.